the link, and I'll tweet, and then we can get going.
Cool. Woot woot.
There she is. Glorious part 414.
Oh, 414.
The session where we all died.
Maybe.
And next week is our 3-year anniversary.
Exactly, and if things go well, we might start the next session starting our second season, I guess you could say.
Yeah. I guess it depends on how well we hunt the session.
Exactly. You know what? We're not going to put a time limit on this session. I think that's unfair. If it happens, it happens. If it does, it doesn't. You know. Okay, so I have now twarted. I'm going to retweet it under my new account. Under my personal account, and then we'll get going. Because I have no idea how many people just follow me just for something. It's probably a disgusting amount.
A lot.
They don't care about my opinions or video games. They just want to see when Riss is going to happen, Okie dokie. Yes, I think the overlay is perfect there, Bern. We can see the rolls just fine and dandy like cotton candy.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so before we actually get you, because I'm going to be plunging you guys right into the session, arriving at Fletcher. So before we do so, do you guys have any questions for me or anything like that?
I think I'm good.
I think, I'm good.
And you're caught up, Criana? You remember what happened?
I remember now.
Okay. All right,
I
good.
legitimately needed that update, though, from Bern, because I had no idea. I just could not, for life of me, bring it back.
Well, what was the very last thing that happened? We just walked out of town to the next place?
You were exactly. You noticed, you were kind of just following some of the tracks, noticing that along the side of the road, whatever the three toad creature, monstrous creature, was, it looked like they were doing like this stalking behavior, like a predator, like a big cat or a wolf or something would do, which would be waiting in one stationary for a long period of time and then continue on as if they were slowly ghosting or shadowing or stalking a person. Speaking of, I do know you guys did some successful lore checks, and Laven did some successful tracking. So I thought before we go into this session, once again recap what you guys do know about this monster known as a mare, or in this particular case, a nightmare, just so you guys can maybe prepare yourselves a little bit better as players and as characters. So, you guys aren't because it's been a couple weeks, right? We didn't play last week. Okay, so give me a second as I get to the right screen. So, creatures known as mares or nightmares are demonic, monstrous beings that resemble some sort of hag. They're extremely intelligent, and they delight in tormenting and torturing all intelligent life forms, and they're often responsible for mysterious deaths, missing children, and insanity. They like to wait until their prey is asleep or off their guard before they attack with very powerful psychic powers, and many things to manipulate both the body and the mind. They tend to avoid direct conflicts, but to assume that they are weak is incorrect. These creatures can be quite large, and in fact, Laven, by you measuring the gait of the footsteps, you estimate this creature is between 10 and 15 feet tall. You also know they can see in total darkness, can see the invisible, can turn invisible at will, and can regenerate their body very quickly. They're also rumored to be able to fly. Groovy Beans?
The flying bit has me worried, but that's cool.
Groovy Beans being a relative term, maybe?
Yeah.
I just wanted you guys all to get caught up, so you weren't waiting on, I'm repeating myself. Okay, let's delve right in. You're traveling between the two villages. The village you just left behind you was a small town called Coombe, with these small circular, like very simple wooden and straw buildings in which you found several dead people, including a dimensional ghoul that was feasting on the bodies, but after determining that he was not the culprit and him giving you some information as to what happened, you decide to move on to the next town in the hope to find Tom's old mentor and your old friend from the Endless Storytellers, well, for most of you at least, Giovanni the Firebrand Bonfield. He was rumored to be in these small villages as a part of a trade caravan that goes out from Perrin's Post. He took a job there, and he's assumed to still be in these villages. You also know that this creature, this nightmare, also made its way on to the next town, which is Fletcher. Fletcher, the town where we actually started this campaign, in which you assisted the town in dealing with some bandits who pretty much took over and used it as their own personal little mini kingdom. Regardless, you find yourselves on the road, and you are on the road in your vehicles for a good part of the day. The sun is beginning to set, although you estimate there's still about an hour or two light left. When you, through the clearing of the small dirt road, you can see Fletcher before you. It's actually in better shape when you last left it a few years back. The buildings themselves, although small and quaint and squat, are not circular like the previous town. They are typically rectangular, square in shape, and they all center themselves around a town square in which there is a single well and what you remember as, I guess you could say, the chieftain's home or the leader's home. The leader, when you last left off, was an elderly woman with a silver braid in her hair. And the people were grateful for your assistance, but sketchy. As you arrive into town, as you arrive at the borders of the town, I suppose I should say, I should ask you as players first. Do you want to drive your vehicle straight into the town square, or do you want to disembark and make your way into town on foot?
Should we drive in?
We could drive in.
Yeah, I don't really
it'd make a spectacle.
Not to, as long as we don't do it aggressively.
Does it look like empty like the last place?
It does not. Although you do not see perfectly into the town, since there are some homes and trees and bushes in the way, you do see some movement, and not frantic or suspicious movement of individuals milling out throughout the evening hours. You catch a glimpse of a person there and a person there. A person is at the well. They all seem human. They all are not, none of them have any sort of body armor on. They're all dressed in very simple, I wouldn't say tribal trappings, but simple shirts, pants, boots, dresses, and alike.
Oh, well then if there's people there, maybe we should just walk in.
Yeah, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Maybe like park them on the outskirts and walk in.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Okay. You want to just stash your vehicles just offside the road in a little bit clearing in, where there isn't too much bush or trees to kind of interfere, and then disembark and then head on in on foot?
Yeah.
Sounds good.
Okay. All right. And I'm assuming you guys all still have your body armor on and all that good stuff, right? And you're taking your weapons with you?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. I just want to make sure. Okay, so you get off your vehicles, you head into town, you walk into town, and you're about, I'd say about 50 feet away from the perimeter when you are first spotted by some of the locals. It is actually a young man, probably in his early teens, 13, 14-year-old, rail thin, and he's carrying a bucket in one hand and kind of kicking some stones down to the ground. But when he sees you move to one side, he pauses for a moment. He stares, and he freezes. As he's frozen here for a few seconds, do you guys want to say or do anything, or do you want to wait?
I guess Patrick would stop.
Okay, you stop moving. You stare at each other for a few moments before he drops the pail, and he goes running into the town, and he says, Newhart, Newhart, there are people outside. Help, Newhart, Newhart. He starts hollering down into the center of the village itself. And you can see a few other people are turning towards the shouting and kind of looking and seeing you out there close to the town. Many of them also freeze or quickly get inside their homes, although there is about a half dozen or so people who are staring and waiting and looking at you to make the next move.
I would like to wave.
Okay. I'm assuming your weapons are at your side and everything like that.
Yeah.
Okay. Give me just 2 seconds as I just gotta scroll up on my notes. There they are. And you guys are you're not moving further into the town. You're just staying about 50 feet outside.
Yeah, as non-threateningly as possible.
Okay. You do so, and although you might wave or so, none of the locals who are outside of their homes return the wave, but they still look at you cautiously. However, soon enough, the gangly teen returns, and directly behind him appears to be an individual in body armor. They're about 5'9", wide shoulders, clearly a man, who is in the midst of putting his body armor helmet over top his head, past his auburn hair. He also is a thin, although not as wiry as the teen. And as he puts on his helmet and flicks on the light so you can see inside the shield, I guess you could say, or the face plate of the armor, those of you who have met him before would recognize this person that the team called Newhart as Giovanni, the firebrand Bonfield. He has a rifle slung along his shoulder. It looks to be a late model Wilkes laser rifle. As he stands approximately 70 feet away from you, he goes, Strangers, there's no need to approach us with such weaponry. Can I ask your reason for visiting our small little town?
We're looking for someone.
A friend of ours.
For the next village over?
Well, we don't exactly know where he went. My name's Ellie, and these are my compadres.
I see.
Wait, we can tell it's him, right?
Yeah, you know it's him.
Al would look at Ellie. He'd say nothing, not sure if...
She don't recognize him.
Al would say, actually, we may have found who we're looking for.
Really?
He's standing right there.
For a moment. He says, I swear to you, I will not fire. Could you remove your helmets, please? I'd like to get a better look at you.
Ellie will take off her helmet and then, squint her eyes staring at him. Is that him? Is that really him?
Not that it'll do much good, but Al will take off his helmet.
I will take off my helmet, but I will also take out my necklace, which he has seen.
That don't look like it. I don't think that's him.
It's him, Ellie, I promise.
He had red hair.
Patrick will remove helmet.
Okay. Laven, are you going to remove your helmet or are you going to keep it on?
Nah.
Wait, now what?
No, I'm just gonna stand there. Okay. I don't know the guy. The guy doesn't know me.
Okay, all right, fair enough. As some of you remove your helmets, He pauses for a moment. He looks to the youth and he says, "Get inside, John. I'm going to go talk to these folks, all right?" He goes, "All right, Mr. Newhart," he says as he scoots into a nearby nearby home. As Giovanni moves his way close towards you, he's closing the distance, and as he does so, you see more of the villagers emerging from their homes, a variety of walks of life, from elderly to young, kind of whispering, looking at each other, gossiping amongst themselves, although none of them are bold enough to make any sort of move or join Giovanni in approaching you. His rifle is still behind him, but he closes to within 10 feet of you, and his eyes fall between all of you, although you definitely see, Laven, that his eyes go from your helmeted head to your weapon, just to make sure you're not going for it. As his eyes cross along Al and Tom, he looks confused, and he sees Ellie there, and he pauses, and he looks towards Patrick, and he says, "Wait a second, I do know you. The Endless Storytellers."
Yep.
Oh, is it really? You look different. Did you do something different with your hair? You don't look right.
It's been a couple of years, and you probably were used to seeing me with a cigarette sticking out of my mouth all the time.
That's
Yeah,
it. That is it.
I quit.
Good. Well,
You quit?
First off, good for you.
Yeah.
Secondly, great to see you again.
Yeah, I suppose I could do the same. Before I continue on, however, there's a few stranger amongst your midst, especially you, young man. Where did you get that necklace? And he points to you, Tom.
Well, I got it in New Laszlo. I had it made. When we were on our break from our touring duties. I may look different, but I am the same person.
And what person is that, he says, still quite confused.
His name's Tom.
Yeah.
Wait, Tom?
Yes. Spark, if you want to call me by that again.
You've got to be kidding me, he says. What? I know it's been a few years, but what is this? I know you went on the run. Did you get some sort of surgery? Is that some sort of cyberware in your face? What's going on here?
Pretty much.
It would probably be easier for you to just show him, I don't know, did you have like an old signature trick with him?
No, he says, as he raises up his hand. Absolutely not. And he moves in a little bit closer, composing himself, bringing his arms together so he's merely only a few feet away from each of you. And before he was speaking in a loud stage voice, but now this is much lower. These people have no idea about my powers, and if they did, they would be very, very scared. Do not display anything like that.
Oh,
please.
Okay.
Good
to know.
Basically, the long story short with this stuff, and he's gonna motion to his face, motion to Al.
Al waves.
The easiest way that we could hide was to go through kind of magical means.
Oh.
We are essentially
like a
different
permanent
people.
illusion.
Sorta. More
Okay.
like there were a couple of people that were about to die, and a being switched our minds into their bodies.
Oh, you've got to be shitting me, says this is Giovanni.
Al leans back against his motorcycle. Way to lay it on him gently there.
You
Tom.
just said it was an illusion.
You
could've
guys
lied
need to-
him.
I could have.
You guys
Well,
need to come up with some kind of surgery story. It would just make
we
these
do
conversations go so much quicker.
And
He
and
says,
this is
go
also
ahead.
our friend Laven. We met him recently. He's a really good mercenary.
Oh, and the elf is Al, just so you know, if there isn't any confusion. I don't know if you even met Al, if you two, like, cross paths. He had dark
wait,
hair.
the camp's doctor?
Yeah, you remember him. Okay, you got it.
Al
Wasn't-
waves again.
Giovanni closes his eyes confused and he says, I've seen a lot of crazy shit. This is a bit of the craziest, but there's no point of you standing out here like a bunch of lepers. I'm going to let you in. I'm going to let you into my home so we can speak a little bit more privately. But I have to ask you, I would like for us, when we reach my home, to us to make a big display of you handing your weapons over to me before we go inside and talk. Everyone here is extremely on edge. We recently took in, I guess you should say 4 families from a nearby town, refugees. Some of them were sick, and we had to quarantine them off in a campsite further away. And the rest, last night, one of our people got sick too. And the tensions between the families from Coombe and the locals here in Fletcher are so tight, they're waiting for anything to set it off.
Oh boy, then we got news for you.
Yeah, we know.
That can wait until we get inside.
Yeah,
I'm not
it
excited
can wait
to
until
tell
we get
you what.
inside.
You guys go in there and hand in your weapons. I'll keep an eye around the perimeter.
Listen, Laven, was it?
I can stay out of sight if it makes you feel better.
It's not about me. It's about the folks here. Remember how I said any little thing might set them off? Well, if anyone catches some guy skulking around in the woods with a weapon, it's gonna just cause panic. I promise you. I know he looks to Patrick and Ellie for sure, and if Tom and Al are who they are, these are my friends. I promise you, there's not going to be anything of harm.
What do you think would scare them more? A guy walking around with a gun or a 15-foot tall demon monster?
Yep. Well,
Al just puts his face in his hands.
remember what we were saying about laying everything on him at once?
What are you talking about? Says, and he does not get the humor in this at all. And he looks to Lav and he says, explain yourself, please.
Well,
Anybody want to?
Is there anyone else within earshot?
Not. You don't know. It doesn't seem that way. But there are a lot of curious onlookers, and a few of them now are getting bold enough to move away from their homes and kind of scooch closer and closer towards your group.
Okay. And I have one more question, because it has been a bit. Once we realize what was causing it, would Al reasonably know whether or not it's contagious?
No, unfortunately, because you didn't succeed very well in your medical check, so you thought it was a virus. Now that you know that there's some sort of toxin that was injected into these people's ears, it still might be a virus or it might be a poison. Unfortunately, you'd have to see someone currently suffering from the condition to try another check.
Got it. Or maybe have time to analyze the samples I took or something.
Exactly.
Okay, got it. All right.
It's some new information at the very least.
Then Al would step forward and quietly say, we came across one of those villages you were talking about, and we have an idea of who's doing this. And it's what's doing this. And as our friend said, they could be 10 to 15 feet tall and very deadly.
And they could be here right now.
There is that chance.
He pauses for a moment, pushing his teeth together, thinking. You swear by this man? He looks to Tom and Patrick and Al and points at Laven.
Yeah. He's a good man.
Okay. You know, a couple years back, some headhunter types came on in, terrorized these people something awful.
Mm-hmm.
You want to do your perimeter search there, mercenary. You have to stay at least 500 feet away from this town. You're going to have to make it a really wide perimeter. And I'll just tell no one to go out tonight. Sound fair?
Fair enough.
Don't forget to use infrared. All right?
Yep.
Now, both Laven and Tom, you would know this, is that sometimes if it's a simple invisibility, heat sensors and infrared and whatnot can pick up. But if it is a, for lack of a word, advanced or eloquent invisibility, they might be invisible even to those sensors.
Yeah.
So it's not a guarantee, but at least it's something.
Yeah. That's why I was suggesting.
Okay.
That's why the good Lord saw fit to give me 2 eyes, one with infrared and one with not.
It was my cyber dog.
Okay.
I like to be called the good Lord.
Yeah, that's right.
Like, it's the weirdest invisibility. It doesn't work with infrared, but he can see him just fine normally.
No, I could see the trees moving.
Yeah, that's actually. And when you're 10 to 15 feet tall, you might move some trees or bushes.
Yeah.
Possible.
Yeah, that's true.
As we're going into the town, I want to pat Giovanni on the back and say, "Remember those mercenaries you just recounted? Well, I have a story about that too."
And he says, "One story at a time, all right? I have to try to keep everything straight."
Yeah.
It's funny that soon after you say that, so we're going to just kind of split the group a little bit here.
Mhm.
The bulk of the group going with Giovanni through the town to his home, while Laven is going to be doing, I'm assuming you're going to do a perimeter check, right?
I would think I would fly around. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like
yeah.
from
Okay.
just an aerial kind of view to keep an eye out.
Okay. All right. You know what? Let's just quickly deal with the specifics of that real quick. And then I'll have you roll a little bit and let you know if you discover anything out of the ordinary or not.
Okay.
So I'm assuming, so you have 2 options. You can, or I guess 3 options really. You can fly above the tree line and take a nice wide berth.
Yes.
You can, okay, you want to do above the tree line.
That was the
Okay.
plan.
Okay, okay, great. So we don't have to worry about piloting checks of weaving in between trees. And
No.
shit like that.
No,
Okay.
no Return of the Jedi speeder chase stuff here.
Okay.
Dude.
All right. Okay. So you're gonna be above the tree line. Are you gonna stay, 500 feet away from the village itself, the little village of Fletcher?
Well, I'm gonna cheat a little bit because
Sure.
like 500 feet flat is one thing, but if I'm in the air, the hypotenuse, I'm not technically,
Oh my god,
but I
dude,
am 500
please.
feet.
You're gonna estimate. But you're definitely not gonna get super close, like 100, 200, 300 feet, right? You might float between 400 and 500.
Yes, and I think I got a telescopic lens too, so I'm hoping that I'd be able to see the perimeter of the town from wherever I was.
Sure. You'll have some, from time to time, you'll have some line of sight being blocked by the trees, by the canopy, but from time to time. Okay, so you have your telescopic sight that you'll be utilizing to scan the area. The only last question to kind of put in the last little modifier here for these checks is, how fast are you going? Are you going at a pretty slow pace so you can do a really thorough scan with your telescopic sight? Or are you looking to make as much distance and to make as many passes as possible?
Well, 2 things. I'd be swapping the telescopic and the thermals every now and again, right?
Okay.
Trying to use the both. I'm assuming switching would be easy with the
Yeah,
at a guy.
cycling through them only takes a moment or 2.
Yeah, like you blink, or I don't know how it would work.
Yeah. It would be like a blink sequence to engage it for sure.
In terms of speed, I wouldn't think like minimum speed, but probably not fast.
Okay. All right. So not very fast. And cycling, probably every 30 seconds between thermal and telescopic?
That seems reasonable, yeah.
Okay, great. So now I have a good mind of this. Is it okay if I just leave you there flying, doing your patrol?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. We'll get back to you real soon there, Laven. So for the rest of you, you follow Giovanni inside of town. And as you do so, many of the onlookers, like I said, who have emerged from their homes, stop and stare and watch this little procession. And then the moment, a blonde woman pipes up and she says, "Wait, I know him. I know her. They're our saviors from a few years back. They stopped the bandits." And you hear murmurs in the crowd.
Al waves.
Giovanni, Giovanni, like takes a sidelong look at Tom, and you hear people say, "Who? Well, not the elf, not the alien, not that DB, the blonde woman, the man there, the tall, lean man. Yes, I recognize his face. Yes, I helped him. I was hostage." And the news is starting to spread quite a bit, whispers and whatnot. And then you can hear, especially those of you with enhanced vision, murmurs like, "Why are they here? Well, we're in trouble again. Do you think they're linked?" No. But do they know him? He says he knows him. What's Newhart doing with them? And so on and so forth. As the murmurs kind of pass on by, you can see now some of these apprehensive faces turn into relief and gratitude, although there are still about 40% of people looking at you very warily, unsure of what to make of this. Regardless, just past the well, in a long wooden log house, you stop outside a giant wooden door, which you might have flashbacks of a giant boar kicking aside and barging through. Regardless, Giovanni turns around. He says, "Okay, now for the show and dance. You were all in the story. Well, yeah, you all here were in the storytellers, so you know what theatrics are. Let's hand over my weapons nice and slow so people know that you don't mean no harm. Although, it looks like your reputation is preceding you, which is good. We really can't stand any more surprises, especially with this new little bit of news you told me."
Yeah.
I'll just want to know. Al will hand over both blacklight knives, any other knives he has on them, and his rifle. Everything except sharp, which he just wouldn't mention or even bring attention to, because right now it's a plastic knife in his med pack or behind his med pack.
Gotcha.
Ellie's in like super slow motion as she's handing the hammer over.
Okay. Suffice to say, you all do hand over your weapons, with the
Absolutely.
exception that Squee just said. Okay. As you do so, he then opens the door, lets you into his home, and then he follows you through. Once the door is closed, he hands all your weapons back to you, and he says, "If what you told me was true, you're probably going to need these more than I do, locked up in my little safe here." "Well, sorry," he says as he shows you around, and it's a pretty modest home with a bed, a dinner table with 4 wooden chairs, what appears to be a makeshift homemade wooden bar, a rocking chair in the corner, and a stone fireplace. He says, "Take whatever seat you can. I don't normally get these many people in. So let's start off with the biggest problem right now. And we'll get back to reminiscing and catching on history and asking them why you guys were looking for me in the first place. What is this about this demon? Are you saying that something attacked Coombe, the next town over?"
We believe so. Have you ever heard of a nightmare?
Other than when I shut my eyes and shut my eyes and sleep, imagining that some sort of Colution spook is going to slit my throat. No, I don't know what a nightmare is. I'm assuming that's some sort of monster.
Yes.
Okay.
Monster that can turn invisible, stalks its prey, and can fly.
I see, he says.
And likes to sicken its victims through some form of, I'm not sure, toxin, virus, something.
Yes.
I see. So it wasn't some sort of natural sickness that swept over Coombe?
No. What it usually does is it waits until everybody's asleep and then starts to play with its victims because it gets some kind of pleasure from it.
Jeez, he says as he wipes his mouth for a moment, and then his face goes pale for a moment. "The families, the ones I quarantined, they're out there in the wilderness, in a campsite. I haven't heard from them in 3 days, but that isn't outside the ordinary. For the sake of keeping things calm with the folks inside the town, our I just personally went out and spoke with them.
At the very least, I should go tend to them if I can. If not just to make sure they're safe, but to see if there's anything I can do.
Shit, he says. Things here are so tense between the old families and the new ones that I've been mostly playing diplomat, preventing fist fights, preventing lynchings and shit like that.
Jesus. This
Well,
town wasn't like this when we were here last.
yeah, well, you put in a sickness and blaming your neighbors for bringing in an illness into town that could kill everybody. People will take extreme measures. A lot of it is just big talk from the old timers who have too much to drink sometimes. But still, that's resentment that is still felt deep down. Deep down. These folks are very distrustful, and sometimes for very good reason. It took me a long time to garner their friendship, and I'm pretty much their de facto protector now. They do listen to me for the most part, especially when trouble's brewing. But whatever we do, we cannot tell them, at least right now, that there is some sort of supernatural threat hunting them. That will be a spark in a tinderbox.
No, yeah, I agree. There's no good can come from that. Will I cause any issues? And Al will kind of point to his pointy ears.
They're not crazy about DBs at all either, but as long as you stick by your friends, these heroes that apparently okay. So you were the ones that helped them out a few years back?
To kill the mercenaries and kill the Borg.
Yes.
In fact, this Borg was the one that kicked... This Borg kicked in this door that I'm looking at right now.
I see. Well, that will lend you some credence then. Just stick by your more human companions and don't make any false moves and don't scare anybody. But I don't think it'll matter. I don't think you guys should be in town for too long anyway. Like I said, the last time I sent out a small party, me and myself, a small hunting party, when I came back, the McKilla brothers and the Watkins family were in the middle of a fist fight. If I leave, things could get really bad. We need someone to keep everybody calm. They know me, so I'm going to stay here for now. Please, go out, check the campsite. They are exactly 1,200 feet to the northeast. You're going to see a small stream to the north of town. You follow that to the east, a couple 100 feet or so, and you'll see where they're camped out. Just make sure they're okay. A few of their parties were sick, and every few days or so I was sending them food and whatever supplies we could spare. It was a stalling action. I was waiting for the sick people to unfortunately pass on or get better. And then after a few weeks or so, I could slowly convince the townsfolk that everything was fine. But as I mentioned before, Mason Johnson got sick last night, so that's just set everyone on edge.
Is there anyone acting as a caretaker?
A caretaker?
To the sick? Or is it just those people left there to... I understand that if there's no doctors here, I'm just curious, is there someone that was tending to them?
They're family members. It wasn't just the sick that were set out there. They're not monsters. We're not monsters. Their family stayed with them. They wouldn't want to separate. Right now, it's the Gray and Rees families. The Grays have the mother. The father is the one that's sick. They got 2 teenage boys. The Rees, a bit smaller. You got a great uncle, a grandfather, who's the one that's sick. Plus, I think his niece at some point. 7 people in all.
Okay. Well then, um, I'm going to go. Who's coming with me?
We all should probably go.
Yeah, yeah. And
Um,
listen, I said before about making a show. If you guys help them out before, say that you're here to help to figure out the source of this sickness, and you're going out to take a look. One of you is a doctor. We'll say. He pauses for a moment. This is what we'll say. This is true. Last night I sent out the parents' post for some help because of this sickness. We'll just say you got here a lot faster than expected. You're my reinforcements. You're a medical doctor. You're going to check out the sick. Maybe that'll calm them down enough. In the meantime, if you do find any hint of this supernatural threat or whatever, come back and let me know. I might be able to help.
Okay.
I understand. Which reminds me, does anyone, maybe Patrick, or maybe you, Giovanni, know of any way that we could see the invisible if infrared's not working? I mean, even if it's just some form of powder or something we could cover them with. If that would work, I don't know.
He says, listen, he says, I got my own powers that I keep to myself, and I can sense other psychics, but I can't sense the invisible. I don't have any magic items here, or even that I dare, nothing that could help you in that sense. If you're looking for powder, well, last month we did get a shipment, and we did get some flour. I could give you a couple bags of that.
Al would look over at Patrick. Patrick, do you think that would work?
I haven't tested too much of invisibility, but there is something that usually does the trick, which is there's this sort of sticky light balls that are supposed to be used to stick to and show invisible. But
Did we bring that?
no, we were very much unprepared for invisibility.
Yeah.
Right. Because here's the problem. I want to get to those people as fast as possible, but it would be foolish to rush into this unprepared, especially if none of us will be able to see our target. I think that we should come up with something that may work. At
Well,
least
you
that
guys
way.
are while
Mhm.
you guys are kind of planning or coming up with something, so you're not rushing in. I'm going to switch over to Laven here real quick. Laven, I'd like you to roll me a D100. Oh my goodness. Okay. Okay, good roll, man. So you get around to the northeastern side of your large patrol route, and out at the very edge of your telescopic sight, you can see you're switching between your telescopic sight and your heat vision. At the very edge of your heat vision and your telescopic sight, you do see some figures out of the ordinary. Before, you did see a few deer and what appeared to be some small ground animals that didn't seem significant. Well, you do see a collection of humanoid shapes. Well, you see them much more clearly with a telescopic sight. The heat sight, unfortunately, is okay. Let me just try this again. Outside of your vision, your thermal vision picks up what appears to be a single humanoid heat pattern. They seem to be lying prostrate by a river. As you turn your jetpack towards there and engage your telescopic sight to zoom in and take a clearer vision, you can see, although it's slightly partially blocked by some trees and shrubbery, what appears to be a small campsite of about 3 or 4 tents. By the river, you can see someone completely prone, drinking out of it, but they don't look healthy. They look bloodied and battered. And as your telescopic sight zooms even more, you can see that there are more people there, but they're dead. They're corpses strewn around the campsite. And it is a lone survivor that is moving to the river to drink. What would you like to do? Oh, please tell me you heard that.
We
Yes.
heard it.
Yeah.
We heard it. We heard it.
Oh,
Definitely.
okay.
Yeah.
Sorry,
Sorry,
I
I
was
was
muted. I was muted.
Yeah.
It's just because of freaking Discord and stuff, and I'm like, okay, long silence. Am I talking to myself for the past 3 minutes?
No, I was talking to myself on mute.
Okay.
It was good times. See, I wouldn't know. I don't think if. Yeah, I would just have to go closer to that
Okay.
to see what's
All right.
going on.
All right, you move to, you engage your jetpack and you move to investigate. I'm assuming you're continuing to cycle your heat vision, your thermal vision, and your telescopic sight, right?
Yeah, and I would definitely still want to keep, some altitude here. I'm not
Okay.
at all thinking about landing.
All right. So approximately how close do you want to get then in the matter of feet?
Well, until something is noticeably,
Sure.
different or dangerous, or if nothing changes, then maybe 75 feet ish. Maybe like in shouting distance of the guy drinking.
Okay. You move within 75 feet, getting within shouting distance, and you don't see. The closer you get, you can get a better view of the campsite. What's really strange is that everything seems nothing. There doesn't seem to be a sign of a struggle. The tents aren't knocked over. It looks like a couple simple metal plates are still laid out for a meal. It appears to be some small woodland creature is still cooking over the fire, although now it is burning, and the fire is dimming down. But all the bodies that are strewn, you see an elderly man, two what appears to be teenagers, a woman and a man. And it's a man who appears to be in his mid-40s or so, in a simple brown shirt and dark black trousers with these boots on his feet. He's at the river, and you're seeing now that he's not just drinking it. Now he's trying to dip his head into the river. Yeah, he's dipped his head straight into the river, and he's holding it underneath of his own free will.
Yeah, it's the whole kill me thing. Well, it sounds heartless, but I don't think there's any way I can help that guy. I'm assuming thermal's not good enough to see like hot tracks.
No, unfortunately, it is that your thermal vision in your bionic eye is not that sensitive, I'm afraid.
Okay.
You see the man. It's only been a few seconds, but he is not coming up for air.
Yeah, that's fine. So the other town had no signs of conflict either, right?
Yeah, it didn't.
So this is
no,
all
it
looking
didn't.
pretty similar.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it is.
And there's nobody else.
Not that you can see. If you want to look for tracks, you'll definitely have to get to ground level.
I think I would radio at this point and be like, yeah, there's another little camp here of sick people. It's in pretty close proximity. How far is it from town? You said 300 feet or something, 300 yards?
Away from town?
Yeah.
No. It's like 1,200 feet away from town. But you were doing you were sweeping between 400 and 500 feet, and outside your vision, so another about 600 feet away, you were able to see this campsite, and then you
1,200
zoomed
feet.
on in. Yeah.
So it's about 400 yards. Okay, so
Yeah.
yeah. So there's another little camp out here. It looks like pretty much everyone's dead except one guy,
Okay.
and he didn't look too good.
Awesome. We're going to pause on that radio transmission. Now we're going to move on over to the rest of the main party. I'm going to let you finish kind of being like, oh, well, we need to kind of prepare for something invisible. And then I'll let you know when Laven chimes in. And then we'll start the conversation between the two groups. Sound good?
Yeah.
All right. Excellent. So so when we left off, Al was saying and be like, listen, we can't go in half-cocked. We can't go in unprepared. And you guys are trying to brainstorm a way of trying to detect the invisible. There is some flour that is at your disposal for sure.
I mean,
Anything else you guys want to discuss? Yeah.
we can always try flour. I can't really think of many other ways. Can you guys?
No, not that I can think of at the moment.
Yeah, without saying, "Oh, hey, I luckily brought these."
Right.
Okay, well, tell you what. Okay, let's leave it a little up to chance and a little bit up to fairness. All right.
Mhm.
You're right. It is completely ridiculous convenient to be like, oh, this detect invisible thing that we've had for the past 6 months, but I've never taken with me. Now I have it with me, right? Well, in other words, you guys are adventuring, and there's no reason why one or two of these items might not be in your pack. So how about this? We make a small list of the items that you have in your inventory, for lack of a better word, and we roll a dice. On a certain dice roll, you brought it with you. On the other dice roll, you didn't. Sound fair?
Sure.
Okay. So what items in particular? I know Patrick was talking about that item that you got from Newzoot, the one that breaks up into little balls of light and then descends on an individual and reveals them. So we got that one, right?
The goggles with... Sorry, go ahead.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the three-eyed goggles. Now I'm just trying to think. Did you put these all in the golden place? Because if you did so, then couldn't Patrick just go in and retrieve them?
It's true.
That is very true. I think. Oh, did I snag the goggles the last time I was out? Is the question.
Oh, you've used them when you were up in space. They were
Yeah.
definitely on the Rhapsody. You used them with the possession entity.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So those would definitely be in there. I can't think of another place the other one would be, but it might not be in there. But yes, I think majority of them would be in the golden place.
Okay. So I think it's fair to say, since you've carried it with you this entire fucking adventure, you would have your backpack to take you into the golden place, right?
Yeah.
So do you want to go in and retrieve some items and come back, for lack of a better word?
We could.
I think that might be a good idea.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Excellent. The only question is if you do that, do you want to do that in front of Giovanni and have to explain another thing, or do you want to wait till after you depart Giovanni's and the village and then retrieve your items?
Go to the bathroom. Go to the bathroom.
He could also just go to the bathroom, yeah.
Patrick will go to the bathroom.
Can I excuse myself? Close the door. You hear like a magical whoosh.
Well, it's not so much a bathroom as it is an outhouse. Giovanni shows you to the back door of his home, and sure enough, about 5 yards or so away from his back door is a simple outhouse. You go inside the outhouse. I'm assuming you use your backpack?
You assume correctly. I will
Okay.
bring out the I'm not even sure exactly what it is, but it just breaks up into like tiny glowing balls.
Yeah. We didn't really have a name for it because the person who made a name for it didn't speak English all that well. Well, he spoke English very well. He just didn't understand English very well.
Right.
Yeah, we'll call it. We'll just call it the blue light invisibility detector. Sound good?
Okay.
Okay.
Goggles definitely.
Yeah, the
anything
three-eyed
else?
goggles. Yeah.
I can't think of anything off the top of my head. Any of you guys?
Not from the golden room, Jackie. No, not from the golden room.
God.
Honestly, Not that
Okay.
I can think of.
right.
Al would ask though if they had any sacks that we could put flour in. Like my idea being a
Flour's
sack with
already in
maybe
the sack.
like with a wide enough weave or something that say I throw the sack at something, when it hits it kind of doesn't explode or
Does a
anything,
bit
but at
of
least
dusting.
poofs out. Exactly,
Yeah.
dusts whatever it is.
They don't have those types of intricate sacks. The flour already comes in these simple flour sacks.
Yeah.
They really wouldn't have anything else rather than
What-
just simple burlap and hemp sacks that they use to just store their goods.
Yeah. What you're
But they're
asking
just
for
bags.
is more of a potato sack type deal.
Yeah. Well, like a hemp sack might actually work. Like a hemp sack's not airtight or anything. So if you threw a hemp sack at something that had flour in it, I would think it would dust it. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe I'm not thinking of the right kind of sack.
I
No,
think you're...
with all due respect, if a sack is porous enough to let something through it, then it's not really much of a container.
Yeah.
Right?
It wouldn't. We still
Wouldn't the
need to
flour just leak out of it?
Yeah, we still need to transport these over to the campsite anyways, and that's going to take
I mean,
a
like
while.
a potato sack is great because potatoes are big, solid objects. So who cares if the sack is porous?
Right.
But if it's literally flour, it'll just go through the holes, right?
Right. Yeah.
Okay. Hello, everybody. Welcome to our Palladium-sponsored role-playing game where we're talking about sex.
Yes.
Answer the questions.
Super important.
I think we should just take one sack.
Sure.
Sack
you
of
just-
flour. Okay.
One sack of flour.
Okay, sure enough. Soon after, Patrick emerges from the washroom, and Giovanni fetches the sack of flour to you. You get a radio signal from Laven. We won't make Laven repeat himself, but do you guys remember what he said?
I don't.
You don't?
No.
Laven, could you please repeat yourself?
Even I
There's
remembered,
there's
guys.
a
Come
camp
on.
like 400 yards out of town here. It looks like everybody's sick and or dead, like it's been hit by the same creature.
Ah, shit. Okay,
To the northeast.
to the
It
northeast.
was northeast, right? Northeast, northwest?
Northeast, yes.
East, okay.
All right. Give us a sec. We'll radio back. And I'll turn back to Giovanni and say, our friend doing the patrol seems to have found the camp.
I see.
Or
Is
a
everyone
camp.
all right?
Well, a camp.
He says, looking hopefully, but looking at your face, he's not expecting good news.
Tom's just going to shake his head.
Was it to the northeast?
Yes.
I mean, no. I
400.
was asking Giovanni. The
Yeah,
camp.
yeah, northeast.
Right. We should get there as quickly as we can in case
Yeah,
there's
we should.
survivors.
Listen, I've had a little bit of experience tracking, but I'm not an expert. Are you guys good at tracking these monsters?
Well, if we aren't, we soon will be.
Yeah.
Never actually done it before.
Okay.
We'll deal with this. Don't you worry.
Well, I will worry a little bit. I'll worry about this town, and of course, I'll worry about your own well-being. I still have a radio from my adventuring days. Tell me your frequency. I'll patch in. I'll listen to the signal. If you need any sort of help, regardless of the tense situation here, I'm not going to sit back and wait for you to get hurt or not provide backup. If you need assistance right away, or you need an extra hand in taking down this fucking monster for good, you radio me and I'll come there. But I'll have to come alone. I don't want to risk. There's a couple brave young guys here, but they don't even have the equipment to face something like this. Only I do.
Understood.
Okay.
I'll give him the frequency.
He pauses for a moment and he says, if you can't hunt this thing down, still come back. I have done enough hunting to know that if you want to hunt a bear or a wolf, there are two ways. You go into its lair, or you set up a trap for it.
True.
I could help you with the trap. I'll think of something, and I'm going to have to talk to some of the families, but at least that'll be an option for us. Okay?
Yeah, that sounds like a
All
good
right.
idea.
Give this monster hell. Thank you. And once this is all sorted, we can sit down with a beer or a cup of coffee or whatever you want to drink, and we'll go over old times. Thank you. Thank you ahead of time, but don't take any needless risks. I'll be here to help you.
Okay.
Okay. And with that, you depart out of his home. You're standing near the town center of Fletcher. What would you guys like to do? And you can obviously radio Laven and let you know what the plan is. So your two teams, for lack of a better word, can coordinate.
Yeah, well, the first thing, like you said, I would be to radio Laven, say, hey, from what we've heard, it's supposed to be a group that was quarantined from the town due to whatever it is they're suffering. No one's heard from them in days. We're headed towards you.
Okay. Are you sure that's wise? I mean, if we're all over here, who's watching the town?
Well,
Giovanni is.
and beyond that, I doubt very seriously she's just going to attack the whole town in broad daylight. No matter what, though, I need to see if there's any survivors.
Well, I gotta get my time correct here. What time is it?
It is 8 o'clock of the evening. You got about an hour,
Wow.
hour and a half left of daylight.
That's what I thought. Okay. All right, just make her quick, and there might be one survivor. Hang on. I'm gonna land and see what's up with Head Duncan guy.
Head Duncan
his
guy.
head is still underneath the water, and you can see his legs twitching. He's still alive, but he is clearly trying to drown himself for some reason. And what is really astounding is that someone can't just die by holding their breath. The body will, his own survival instincts will take over and force you to take air. So it is astounding that he's keeping his head underwater this long. Anyways, but he's still alive for now.
I'm just going to land at him and take a brief look around to make sure I'm not gonna immediately die, and then just pull his head out of the water and look him in the face.
Okay, all right. You land, you take a look around, you don't see anything immediately dangerous. You reach down with your arm, you grab him by the scruff of the neck or something like that, or by his shirt.
I was thinking his hair.
His hair. Oh my god. Okay. You grab him by his hair, which is this greasy, long brown hair. You grab it, you get a fistful of his hair, you pull him up from the water, and he goes up with a as he screams in almost horror and bliss at the same time. He appears to be, you can now confirm, he is of middle age. He has these sags around his dark brown eyes, these bags under his dark brown eyes, like he hasn't been sleeping in days. And his brown eyes look around wildly as his face twists up, and he says, this is not to be. I have not crossed over yet.
What are you doing?
The vision. I was told weight on my chest hurts so much. I was given a vision that if I cleansed myself, if I drank in the water, I would cross over and never hurt again. Oh, my chest. Oh, my chest. He bemoans. As a hand comes out, a wet, sopping hand, to his wet shirt as he clings it, as if he's holding and pressing into his heart like he's afraid it's going to burst out of his chest.
Oh, God damn it. I'll get Laven cusses and picks up the guy.
He turns to you and say, "Can you please not swear?" No, just kidding.
Rude.
Picks up the guy and radios and says, Al, I got some guy
You
coming
can hear
to
the
you.
caterwauling in the background. Just this insensate rambling about crossing over and the pain. But please continue, Laven.
I don't think he's feeling very good.
I see.
I'm heading over to you guys. Can you, like, I don't know, turn on the light or make fire flare or make yourselves obvious?
Or
I'm assuming that would be
How
hard to
about
see
we
under
just
the
wait
tree
by
line.
the vehicles for you?
Or why don't
Okay.
we head over to you and not bring whoever the hell that is closer to the village? That seems like a good idea.
Al nods and then starts saying, maybe we should hurry.
My thought was to kind of meet you halfway, which would be the fastest. But, I can just sit here and, try and ignore this guy.
Yeah, just keep him alive. We'll head there.
Laven mutters off the radio to himself, keep him alive. Huh.
Is your hand still in his hair, or have you let him go?
Well, I'd already picked him up, so I'm like holding him like right over the threshold at the moment, and then he told me not
you
to
literally
come.
picked him up. He starts squirming and trying to get out of your grasp.
All right, I guess I just put him down a
Okay, he
couple
heads
feet away
towards
from the
river
water.
again.
God damn it. Get a leash.
All right, I'm gonna sit down and grab his ankle with my cybernetic arm and just hold him and wait.
Oh my god. Okay, perfect. So we're going to just speed things up a little, not speed things up a little bit, but move the next scene with the rest of the party. Are you going on foot or are you going in your vehicles?
It's only what you said, several
It's
hundred meters,
120.
right?
It's only 120 feet away.
Yeah.
120?
Sorry,
I thought it was like
400 feet away.
1,200 feet, yeah.
Still,
400
I
yeah.
can't mouth brain help.
Yeah, 1,200 feet's like less than a third of a kilometer, or about a third of a kilometer. So, we can just like walk at a brisk pace and get there within a few minutes, right?
Sure.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. So you reach the clearing, you follow along the little river until you come upon a campsite, in which you see a very shocking sight. Several tents set up, but no sign of struggle, with 6 corpses lying around in various stages in the campsite. What's really interesting is when you look at their faces, they seem to all be twisted in pain or in agony, although you do not see any sort of physical trauma on their bodies. You see Laven standing near the center of the campsite, his hand grasping the ankle of a man who is feebly trying to squirm his way over to the river. He tries to pull a few times, but Laven holds him very fast with his bionic arm. Rests, gives up, begins to mule and caterwaul again before once again struggling to try to make it to the river. All the while saying, "I must make the pain stop! I must cross over!"
Well,
Oh,
this
hi.
is like a lot of fun. Ellie says, like, awkwardly grabbing at her arm.
He keeps trying to drown himself. I don't know. Maybe you should
Ellie-
let him.
Ellie will walk over to the man that's squirming. Excuse me, sir.
He looks over to you to wild eyes and he says, "No, I was not to wait for you either."
What? No, don't drown yourself. That's bad. Drowning's bad.
I'm not going to drown myself. I'm going to cleanse myself. Why won't you people let me cleanse myself?
Oh, he just wants to take a bath, Laven.
Yeah, maybe he just wants to be baptized. You might be onto something.
I think that he's trying to. Al just kind of like kneels down and looks him into the eye and says, "It's okay. Why do you want to cleanse yourself?"
Vision. The pain came. The pain came 2 nights ago. It fills me up. It presses against my chest. But I have been told that if I am to plunge myself into the river. I will cross over and no more pain. That's all I want. I'm in so much pain.
Okay,
He
I
says.
can stop the pain. Let me stop the pain.
He doesn't move. I guess that's medical consent.
Al
Silence
will
means yes.
Al will then inject him with a dose of sleeping. I don't know. Just is it on my action sheet as sleep? 2 doses, 1 reserve, so 3 doses. So
All
sleep thing.
Go ahead and use a dose.
Okay.
This is astounding. You've never seen this before. It injects. You wait a few minutes for it to take effect. He doesn't go to sleep. He's just as animated as before.
Huh. I've never seen this before.
Not a good thing for your doctor.
Roll
to
me
say.
D100, Al.
Okay. 20.
Although this isn't really in your medical purview, you have adventured and come across all sorts of strange creatures well enough to know that if something is overriding some very simple biological mechanisms, for example, the chemical synapses, the synapses that your sleeping agent would interact with to invoke this person to relax and sleep, there must be some sort of supernatural, otherworldly, psychic, or magic influence on this man.
Got it. Al would say, well, the sleeping dose should work unless something's interfering with it. And by something, I mean not another drug, most likely something psychic, magical.
I would like all of you to save versus psionics. Look in your character sheet and see what you have to roll and if you get any bonuses. But I would like every single person to save versus psionics.
Oh boy.
No.
Mine's a 12. Well, I get.
You succeed. All right.
No.
Okay. So Laven, Tom, and Ellie succeeded. Al and Patrick failed, correct?
Correct.
Okay. Ellie, Tom, Laven. There's something that swells in your mind. It's nothing offensive, but it's a message that wants to get in. Do you block it out, or do you let this message into past your mental barrier and into your mind?
I block it because I got enough stuff going up in my head. I don't need any more in there.
Okay.
I'm
Block.
I'm going to imagine that this is an attack, and I'm going to block it.
Okay.
Block.
Laven? Okay. Patrick and Al. In your mind, for a few moments, briefs this. For a few moments, your mind is overtaken with a simple message spoken out as if it was a voice. There's a slight feminine, high-pitched tone to it, but it's croaky, like a voice spoken through a rotted old log that says, "Get out."
Okay. Does the voice have any sort of supernatural compulsion to it, or just we hear it in our heads?
You hear it in your heads.
Okay.
A clear message, clear as day.
Al's head would shoot up, and he'd say, "Did you guys hear that?
Hear
Was
what?
that just me?"
What I?
Right.
I've less heard it than I thought in voice.
Patrick.
Oh,
Patrick, my dear, your Creat, is it set to sense supernatural evil or detect magic items?
Well, I set it to supernatural evil last.
Then you start to feel this little hum as your Creat, which you call Ed, begins to vibrate.
Is that audible to everyone else?
No, not really, no.
Okay.
Mila can kind of hear it because she has super augmented hearing, so she could hear the vibrations running against the inside of Patrick's armor of the vibrations, but otherwise you guys can't hear it. Just a buzzing, vibrating sound that Patrick can feel.
So is something trying to mess with us?
Patrick would probably say Ed's reacting.
Ed?
Ooh.
Who's Ed?
So, yes, something's trying to mess with us.
You guys see Ellie slapping her butt a little bit and going, "Nice try, asshole. Didn't get me. Looks like you're not very strong." And I have to be quiet, so I can't really inflectuate my voice. But
That's
imagine
okay.
she's like going like kind of a nana boo boo type thing.
Cool. All right. Okay.
Oh,
Well, that's distracting.
Nora.
I know.
Al would like to take a moment to look inside this gentleman's ears.
You look inside of his ears, and you don't see any of that dark green toxic substance in it.
Okay. Ellie, you don't by chance have the ability to prevent someone from affecting another's mind, do you?
No, I don't, hun. Sorry.
Ah. Right. Hi, Nora.
Mm-mm. Wrong again. She kind of
Crap.
smiles.
Al says crap. All right.
Are you Ed?
No.
Sure, you can call me Ed. I'll call you Dollface. You got kind of one of those dolly type faces. I like it.
Huh.
We can figure this out later.
Yeah, not that big of a deal. Anyway, if this bitch wants to fight me, she should try again.
You hear the
Kind of-
whistling of the wind through the trees.
She'll cross her arms and go, "Coward."
So, what would you guys like to do? Is there any information from me that you would like? Cool.
No, I'm just currently looking at my
Sure.
options for helping this
Okay.
gentleman, which are very limited at the moment.
I
Well,
would
they're
like,
about to get a little bit more. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Patrick. You go
I
first.
would like to load my shotgun.
Okay. You load your shotgun. And Al, your job is about to get a little bit worse because now, all of a sudden, now the man is starting to get drowsy. And he, pain, as he falls asleep onto the ground. That was a very delayed reaction of your sleeping agent, which is also not normal.
Right, but did it at least look similar to the signs of someone?
Oh yeah,
Okay,
without a
okay.
doubt.
All right. Al would say,
He
okay.
didn't have a heart attack and die. Don't worry.
So that just happened, which means that whatever was blocking it stopped, which means that they're concentrating on something else, and Al will stand up.
Good detective work.
And Al's going to start flipping through, because he's wearing the gladiator body armor with one of the nice, nifty little helmets. What is it called?
Thermal optic helms.
The
No,
multi-optic.
it's
Multi-optic.
Yeah, the multi-optic helms that we had installed in certain
Yeah.
of the helmets. He's going to start flipping through the
Yeah, you
optics,
flip
looking
through
around.
the ultraviolet, infrared, and the heat sensory lenses, and you don't see anything out of the ordinary.
Laven says, "Wow, she gets snarky under pressure."
Yeah. That's cool. I like her. Let's see. Did you get anything from the Golden Place, Patrick? That could help us with this?
Yes. He snaps the shotgun shut. Is this still vibrating?
Sorry, I had to turn on my light. What was that?
Is the necklace still vibrating?
It is fading, fading. Now it's stopped.
Patrick, Patrick stops, looks around a little bit. So in the direction there is, okay, what Patrick is going to do is he's going to cast a spell.
Okay.
He's going to cast Time Slip.
Okay. Use your PPE. If I remember correctly, let me just quickly look up Time Slip.
It is
It's you get to slip 7 seconds into the future.
Which is about
So
as
you
long
can
as
move
the
forward
spell
7
itself.
seconds while everyone else is caught in the past. Okay. All right.
Now, Patrick has a bit of a shot here. So if I was a person that was trying to be invisible and trying to slink away, how would I do this? Well, most likely it came from the camp. So that was in that direction. So it would be on this side of the river. And I have a good 180-degree arc which moving. So I guess I can just take the odds and do a straight 90 degrees from the river and dash that way as fast as I can. And then once I get to about the end of the time, 6 to 7 seconds, I'd like to try to cast another spell.
Okay. You get to the end of the time. What spell would you like to cast?
See Aura.
See Aura. 2 seconds. 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi.
Don't count yourself.
I know, that doesn't help, eh?
Okay, can I just say, I keep hearing banging from outside my door and it's scaring me.
Oh, okay.
6
well, I got bad
children.
news for you. Things are getting out. 6 children.
6 children.
Too many children. Can't
Too
see.
many cooks.
Oh, wait.
That was anticlimactic.
I know.
Oh, wait.
Oh.
Wait.
So this is a situation where all sorts of new things happen. Patrick, typically an individual's aura would beam out from them. In this case, however, you don't get a very clear signal. In fact, it's only brief. It's so incredibly brief. It's only about 1 or 2 seconds long. It's a dark red aura, which shows the presence of minor magic. It's directly to your, it's directly 45 degrees to your left. And like I said, in a matter of a few moments, it fades away, almost like it's outside the range of your spell. Like it was on the inside of your range of your spell, a few seconds pass, and then it leaves. But you do know, whatever it was, had weak magic, and you know the general direction it was headed.
All right. Patrick will, I guess, if he does still have semi-line of sight and the direction that it went, he'll try to fumble for either goggles or camera. Probably camera, since it's probably more on hand.
Okay, get out your camera. You putting on any special lens?
Yeah, the see invisible lens, surprisingly enough.
Okay.
Which, I mean, I don't think I've ever taken that thing off.
Fair enough. Fair enough. You look through the camera towards that direction, and sure enough, what you're able to see is what appears to be the lower half of some creature's legs. Their skin is this dark, mossy green, and they have 3 claw-like digits on each feet. And all you can see is what appears to be like their lower calves and below as it lifts up into the air and disappears into the tree line. It's approximately 300 feet away from your current location. Like I said, about 45 degrees to your left.
May I take a picture?
Yes.
Okay.
You can snap off a picture real quick. Roll me a photography check to see how clear the picture is, because you got fading light, you got motion, everything like that. So we're gonna see how good this picture is.
Anything that I should put as negatives?
Yeah. Let's do a -5% because of the light, and -10% because of the speed. So make it harder by 15.
Okay.
Succeed by 1. All right. Yeah, you snap off a picture, and as you can see in the readout of your camera, you get a clear photo of these lower legs lifting off into the air before it disappeared. At least before it blocked, your line of sight was blocked.
Yeah. Patrick will not continue running after this thing and go back to his friends.
Okay. Well, all of you, by the way, you're having a conversation, looking around, being very cautious. Patrick disappears from sight after invoking his spell. You see him further up ahead of you by at least 100 feet or so. You see him fumbling for his camera, taking a picture, looking at it, and then making his way back towards you.
Got a good one?
Yeah. I'm hoping to make sure that this is exactly what I think it is.
Neat. She crosses her arms. She's clearly kind of bored with the current situation.
Little bugger's fast.
God says, just take a chill pill, all right?
She wants to get some booze.
I know.
Fun.
Fair enough.
Al's going to actually, Al's just continuing to try and maintain actually no, Al would say, so you saw something, which means that these optics are pointless.
Patrick says, let's discuss this away from the tree line.
Good idea.
Okay, where would you guys like to go?
Probably should head back towards town at least. Well, no, I still need to check and see if there's any survivors in the place.
Okay.
Al's going to cautiously tell everyone what he's doing. He's going to go look for survivors and cautiously move forward to do just that.
There's no heat. Checked already.
Oh.
Yes, and a quick visual inspection can confirm these people are all dead.
And there's no buildings or anything that would block thermal vision?
Just some tents.
Right.
Nothing.
Yeah, that wouldn't do it. Al will verify for himself using the multi-optics, nod a bit sadly, and then pick up the sleeping gentleman and say, well, then let's get back to town, I guess.
You think it's a good idea to bring him with us?
Well, the other option is to stay out here with him.
Well, maybe we can dress him up and make him look like a living guy.
He's not dead.
Yeah, but he might as well be if we bring him back to town. People are gonna flip out.
All right.
Good job, Criana.
Al. So his visual. He doesn't look infected or anything of that nature, right?
No.
Okay. And he is sedated. He is asleep.
Yep.
Yeah, but what are you gonna say? Oh, I just found this unconscious guy in the forest. I mean, that's
Yeah,
not a
you
character
don't
because Laven doesn't
recognize him
know
as Farmer Joe.
the situation. But
Well, no, I mean he's from the quarantine village, but he doesn't have any marks of infection. I agree. It will be unsettling. Just well, Al's not going to leave him out here, so the
Well, let's throw
alternative
him
is
in
to
the
stay out
back of the
here.
truck then.
Sure. Al will just spend the night in the truck then.
That works.
So wait. Well, you guys, okay? Let's not have the night pass by or anything like that.
Next morning.
Right for now, you're gonna just put
Right.
him in your van so he's someplace secure in the truck in the ATV, right?
Right, and now we'll
Just
stay
just
with
so
him.
he's secure, so he doesn't worry about having to be getting eaten by something. Okay.
Mhm.
All right. So you gingerly placed him inside the back seat of the ATV. Now, what would you guys like to do?
I just want to ask Patrick, what, and we don't have to resolve this, but just so my character knows, which way it ran off, and get a look at the picture.
Yes.
It beelined, I'm guessing north or something like that.
Mhm.
And yeah, here's what it looks like. Does this jog any memories?
Yes, Laven, that is exactly the feat that have made the prints that you found back in Coombe, with to the detail, to the absolute detail.
Gotcha.
Now, I would like those of you who do have a hunting skill, any sort of hunting skill, roll me a D100.
Has to be hunting.
Yep. Hunting, or we'll say tracking. Hunting or tracking.
Or wilderness survival.
Not wilderness survival, unfortunately.
Although hunting doesn't have a percent.
Yes, I know. Hunting doesn't have a percentage, but I'll
Okay.
still, if you have the skill, I already have a threshold in my mind.
I
Just
do
yeah.
have it.
Okay.
I do.
Okay. So
Time
11
is the best. Holy
That's
crap.
tracking.
Okay, so that's tracking. You succeed by 35. That's great. Okay, we'll let Ellie roll.
Yeah, mine's the 57.
Oh, yours the 57. Oh, okay. All right. You succeed by 3. That's good. Tom succeeded by holy crap a poop ton. Well, what did you use? Hunting or tracking?
Track animals, unless it's humans. Track animals is a 75, so that is a success by 67.
Okay, all right. Then this is shared knowledge that all of you. Actually, no, I'll tier it a little bit based on your success. All right, Ellie. You know from your hunting, the hunting behaviors of predators implies that wherever this creature ran off to, their lair or their home, or they need some place to eat, and they need some place that is relatively close to their to where their prey resides. So you'd be surprised if this mare ran off she's probably within a 1 mile radius, more than likely. Laven, you can you have similar information comes to mind when assessing this situation. However, you have a little bit more insight with the way her flying capabilities and the way that because of her flying capabilities, you're able to deduce, for lack of a better word, that her lair doesn't have to be someplace that's enclosed in a cavern or anything like that, because if she needs to run or escape, she can simply take flight, much like a bird in a sense. And in fact, the legs themselves, where the knee joint is you know how birds have kind of like inverted legs? It's kind of like that. So if putting 2 and 2 together, the mare's territory is probably in a thick section of trees, although she probably won't be up in the branches because of her sheer size. Tom, further deduction, thanks to your tracking skill, makes you think that if you truly did startle this creature, she probably didn't have the wits to bob and weave and jolt and take a U-turn. she probably headed straight to wherever she found safety. So if you could go back to where her last tracks were, and before she took off, you could probably get at least a decent bearing of the direction of where her lair is.
Sweet.
Do you need me to repeat any of that information, or are you guys all good?
Sounds good.
No, I think I got it. Let's go ahead and go back to her tracks and start actually finding where her lair is.
Okay.
So what about Drowning Man? Because you guys left the vehicles in on the other side of town.
Yeah. Okay. So probably the best thing to do would be to, as cruel as it sounds, tie him up so that he can't hurt himself if he wakes up. And
If
try
I
and
just
leave.
go grab the car.
Yeah. I mean, if we're not in a big hurry, that works too. Well, either way, we should. If we're going to be leaving him somewhere, whether it's in the car or on the ground, we still need to keep him from hurting himself.
Sure.
Well, the vehicle isn't too far away. It's only about 1,000 feet or so away, and Ellie is very, very fast.
Yeah.
Okay. So is that what you guys like to do? Have her run off, get the vehicle, drive on over, and plunk him inside of it?
I am all for that, honestly.
Sure.
All right. Hey, okay with that, Ellie? I know your personality isn't Ellie, but I'm going to just call you Ellie for it.
Just quick check Skype.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, okay. Maybe not. Maybe not.
No, but she'll still go and get the car.
Okay. Oh, okay.
This is not
Great.
going to end well.
Give me just 2 seconds.
It's like riding a bike, right?
He's probably not much safer in a truck than just sitting here.
Well,
but
Cynthia, I mean, Ellie.
Wow.
Wow.
Ah!
I've been there. I've done that. I feel for you.
You know,
Snape kills Dumbledore.
Wait, when? How? What?
I'm so sorry. I was literally typing to her. I don't want to say your name before you do, and then I.
Technically, she's been around before, and she has said her name is Cynthia. So
Oh, thank God!
it's not that much of a surprise.
Oh,
except
thank
she
God!
kind of talked with more of a Brooklyn accent.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's what I was wondering.
Yeah, what the hell?
Yeah, you can ask her about it. She will give you a reason.
Oh, cool.
Okay. Anywho, but you can't ask her now because she is. Oh, I feel so much better now. Thanks, Criana.
No problem.
She has bolted off towards the vehicles. I guess, can I call you Cynthia now?
Yes, you can call me
Yeah,
Cynthia.
All right. So Cynthia,
What?
you get to the. People who are watching this are gonna be so confused. Does she keep making new characters every session?
All
You
new
get to
stats,
the vehicle.
everything.
No, she's
You
a
get to the
crazy.
vehicle.
There you go.
You find the keys. You put them in. Roll me a D100.
All right.
You start the vehicle.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely there's this wheelie thing that you have to turn.
Yeah, that's
And
kind of
you're
weird.
pushing the pedal things.
Cool.
And one isn't making you move.
Hmm.
And then the other one, you're pushing it and you're revving the engine, but the vehicle isn't moving for some reason.
I'll start pushing the car.
Oh my God, okay. Oh my God, all right. So first of all, you're definitely strong enough for this. Second of all, you literally put it in neutral, so it's going to be so much easier to push.
Oh, thank God.
So, oh my God, so you push this. Oh my God, okay. So, guys, 10 minutes later, you see the ATV come out of the tree line and begin to cross over the small little river. It can handle the water, for lack of a better word. And you don't see anyone in the driver's seat. And then a few moments later, you see your friend Ellie pushing it from behind until she reaches your campsite.
If you're going to push it, why'd you turn the engine on?
Yeah, the keys are still inside the ignition.
Oh. She kind of shrugs. Now that you mention it, probably would have been easier just to take it out.
Well, it's a way to go.
Well, the vehicle's here now.
Al's been monitoring him the whole time. No change.
Nope. He'll be asleep for a few hours at least.
All right, then. Yeah, Al will put him in the back seat. Try and put him as comfortably as possible. And then, I don't have any rope on my character, but we should probably
There are
tie him
belts.
somewhere. Yeah.
There are belts in the back seat, like seat belts and harnesses.
Yeah.
Okay.
Bind him up
I'll
as hard
use
as we
those.
can.
Well, yeah, I'll use those to bind him up as hard as we can without like causing further pain. Or
Yeah,
discomfort.
without
Okay.
causing pain or cutting off circulation and whatnot, but like,
Okay.
yeah.
While they do that, I'm gonna chop off a few branches and lay them on top of the car.
Patch is
alright.
going to confront Tom. Tom,
What?
I'm going to guess something real quick.
What?
Did one of you tell Ellie to go get the car?
No?
Al?
She actually suggested to go get the car, believe it or not.
Don't look at me.
Patrick wheels around and goes towards Ellie.
You see her, she kind of has like one hand under her chin, and she with the other hand is just like slowly waving at you.
So
Oh yeah, sorry.
a while ago, I gave someone my only spare key for my car.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I don't know entirely who or when any of these things may have changed, but I know. Now I know for sure that you don't drive this.
No, but I offered, and they said okay, so I took them up on it.
That
You got a
doesn't
problem
make
with it?
any sense.
You got a problem with that?
Yeah, it makes no
Yeah?
sense.
What doesn't make sense about it?
If you don't know how to drive, why
Mhm.
didn't you ask someone who did?
Hey, let me. Why don't you come here? Why don't you come here? Come here, honey.
Al
Come on.
walks over.
Listen,
This
honey.
is gonna be productive.
I don't know if you notice, but I'm crazy. And she'll like kind of push your face away and walk away.
You say that like it's an excuse.
She turns around laughing and then shrugging at you, being like, "It kind of is."
Al shrugs, turns to Patrick. There you go.
The radio comes on, and you hear Giovanni's voice say, "Any update? It's been quiet for quite a few minutes. I'm concerned."
We're trying to talk some reason into a crazy person. Just hang on here.
I see.
Al
Um,
gets back on the radio. There was only one person there still alive, and he was not in a good state mentally. He was, I think, trying to drown himself.
Yeah, no, I think he was definitely trying to drown himself.
Yeah.
He was
Yeah.
actually doing very well at drowning himself. Surprisingly effective self-drowning.
There we go.
We also may have encountered the nightmare and will be chasing it to its lair fairly soon.
Okay, wait. Can you guys hear me now?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, I heard everything Burn said. He says, also, we do with the lair, but I missed that first part, I'm afraid. The Discord disconnected on me. I couldn't hear a darn thing.
Sure, Al said that they only found one person alive and that he thought he was trying to drown himself, and Lav was like, no, think. Definitely was doing a great job of it, too.
Definitely was trying to drown himself, doing a great job.
Okay.
Also that we were reasoning with a crazy person.
Okay. Mm-hmm. And you plan on tracking this thing down to its lair.
Yes.
There's a long pause as Giovanni processes the deaths of the other family members from Coombe. As he says, "All right, it's your call. Do you want me to come with you and provide backup and we storm this bitch's lair? Or do you want us to try to set a trap for it, like I mentioned before?"
Well, out of character, I kind of want to just deal with this thing in its lair.
Yeah, the out of character, me too. We don't know enough about her to be able to be confident in any trap we set for her.
Yeah.
Out of character, though, trap sounds like it could be a lot of fun.
It does. I agree. But, like, okay.
Storming the lair is boring.
You could literally speak with Giovanni and you guys can brainstorm a trap. We could do that in character.
Either way, I think bringing him along would be a good idea, because I was like, well, maybe he should go to the town, but he can't see her, so what's the point? Might as well bring him with us where we have abilities to detect her.
Yeah.
Well, and for one, out of character, if we're presenting opinions, I like the sound of storming the lair. For two, large blanket areas of fire should work pretty good against something you can't see. My thought.
Just like go into her lair, Patrick just says, "She's over there." Hail and hail and hail of gunfire and fire and shit.
Yeah, about the fire thing, though. We've done that before in a forest. Hasn't always worked out that well.
No.
But he does have the ability to stop fire at will, too, so that's helpful.
Yeah. I mean,
But
I could be the one lighting, he could be the one stopping it.
I seem to recall a time where we set things on fire and then almost couldn't see anything because there was smoke everywhere. Is that something that happened to us? I seem to recall that.
No. It wasn't smoke. It was the fact that we were trying to track down something that had lesser invisibility, and everybody was using infrared. So then, when I laid down the fire pillar, everyone was
we
blind.
couldn't see anymore.
Yeah.
But not.
Well, it's up to you guys. What you want to do? We got one vote. We got Criana voting for trap. We got Laven voting for storming the lair. How about the rest of you?
I am for hearing Giovanni's idea out, but unless it's a really slamming idea, I don't have any confidence in any trap reset because we don't know anything about her. So I'm probably for storming the lair.
Well, see, here's the thing. I'm going to go with the fun, and that's setting the trap, but I cannot help with setting the trap because I have no idea.
Sure, you guys trust me. You trust me. Trust me. You guys will come up with something for sure. Giovanni's gonna. I mean, he's not gonna come up with the entire plan, but it's not true that you don't know anything about her for sure. You'll be able to set a trap. This won't be a useless errand.
Let's hear what he has to say.
Yeah, I'm all for hearing what he has to say, definitely.
Okay. All right. So if it's okay by you, so the question is, do you want Giovanni to leave the village and come to the campsite here? That way you don't have to worry about the unconscious man. Or do you want to, or do you want to deal with the unconscious man a different way and go into town and speak with Giovanni?
Why not just let him get over here?
Okay. All right. So you tell Giovanni where he is, and within about 5-6 minutes, you can see Giovanni still in his armor, his body armor with his laser rifle and everything, heading towards you. He takes a long, sad look at all the dead corpses, and you can see that his face has regret. He's kicking himself for this decision. But he looks to you and he says, okay. First and foremost, so we're all on the same page. Why don't you guys tell me everything you know about this thing? And you guys don't have to do it in character if you don't want to. We can just say all the knowledge I have told you guys individually with your lore checks and your tracking and all that other crap.
Mm-hmm.
You guys have a nice little powwow and put all your information together. Sound good?
Ooh, that.
Yes.
Let's
I
do
will
that.
also show him the picture.
Okay. All right.
Sure.
You show the picture. The picture comes around too. And he goes, okay. So, by the sounds of it, she doesn't like a stand-up fight, right? And she likes making people sick, and she likes hurting them, and she likes tormenting them.
Mm-hmm.
Gonna strike. Like I said before, the Johnson, Mason Johnson, back in the town, he's the one who most recently got sick. Do you think she's gonna go try to visit him? Or do you think she's gonna try to finish whatever she started to do to mess with this poor guy as he gestures over towards the van?
If she doesn't want to deal with us, she knows he's with us, so she won't try to touch him.
You're right. You're right. We could use that to our advantage. Us, your group, the people who are trying to hunt her or stop her, are off out into the wilderness for whatever reason, trying to hunt her down, and she creeps back into our town tonight to continue to torment? I was talking with Mason Johnson, and I told him that I asked him if it was possible if he could switch homes with a local. She knows probably if she's involved in this, she knows where he rests his head at night. My suggestion is we have him go into someone else's house, and then one of us stands in his bed pretending to be Mason Johnson. Then when she tries to strike, she doesn't get an innocent person. Now, I might not be able to see the invisible, but I'm a powerful psychic, and if she tries any mind shit on me, I could probably resist it. It's my town. It's my responsibility. I'm the protector. I'd be very willing to pretend to be this Mason Johnson when she creeps in. If you guys can make it seem like you're off into the woods as a distraction, but really slink into the town and wait for an ambush for her to show up, I think that's our best chance.
Is there like a way we could sneak into the house? I mean, it's going to be kind of hard to sneak by something that's invisible, and only one of us can kind of see it.
Wait, hold on. There were some houses that had cellars.
Right?
Yeah.
Maybe Did this guy's house have a cellar?
Yeah, Johnson's house has a cellar.
We can all hide in the cellar.
All right. Let me lay this out so we're all fully clear. We are talking about luring her into a town full of innocent people and trying to kill her in said town, where collateral damage is a very real risk.
Break out the mega damage weapons.
Yeah. I mean, if one of us uses something that will hit it hard and misses and hits a neighboring house, that could be someone's head. If Tom gets a little too creative and whatever, any number of things could happen. She could run and take people out on the way. Fighting her in the village that we are trying to stop her from hurting sounds like a bad idea.
Giovanni nods. It's not optimal. I'd assume that you would all be using restraint in regards to this. But you're right, it's a little too close for comfort. But how else are we going to lure her? She needs a victim, right?
I hate to say this, but we hit her in her own lair where we can unleash holy hell upon her and not have to worry about hurting anyone else.
Just a few innocent trees.
And we can use whatever powers we wish.
That's the only thing that worries me a little bit. Giant fires all over the place. I doubt any of the village people are going to stalk us or help us, but they're going to see the fires. They're going to be able to smell them. And when then they don't spread, they're going to know something's up. Although we could keep them in the dark in regards to that. It'd be a much easier lie than explaining to them while we're hunting some sort of horrible monster inside the town itself.
Yeah, either way, I think that they're gonna be, onto us once the fighting breaks out. The other advantage to fighting, in theory, inside a building in town is that it's slightly more difficult for her to run away, which so far seems to be the MO. Whereas if we go to her lair and it's not enclosed, like if it's not a cave and it's just a cluster of trees, there's
What's
no
to
reason
stop her
she
from
can't.
just flying away?
Yeah.
Yeah.
As much as I don't like using the town as something so close, I suggest that we just try to use our particular abilities, ones that are a bit non-lethal, to make sure that he's either captured or at least in a better position than being able to fly away.
Wait, what about a compromise? This man, what if we say he's sick and we're quarantining him like the others? We move him theoretically away from the rest of the village.
Won't that defeat the problem though? Because we're
She
the
needs to-
suspicious ones.
She needs to know we've moved him. I mean, how do you convey that? Unless she's actively watching, we don't know. We don't know what if she will get the word
we
that
go.
we moved this person.
Yeah. I have serious hesitations trying to fight her in this town.
Okay, then say we don't fight her. We do what Patrick says. We just trap her, then take her place where she can be dispatched easily enough.
Mm-hmm.
Al shrugs, says, look, I've said my piece. I'll go with whatever the group says. I'm uncomfortable with this. But if this is what we choose to do, I'll make it work.
Listen, he says, you said there's this chemical in their ears, right? That's actually making them sick, like some injection or venom or disease or something, right?
Yes.
That means she's going to have to get right up against me, right? Who knows with her powers if she has to touch me or if she has to be nearby, but it seems that she's going to creep up right next to me. She's going to be inside in that bed. That will really limit her escape options if you guys spring on her, right?
Nothing you say is wrong. My only point is that if anything goes wrong with this plan, we are surrounded by innocent people.
And if she escapes,
Giovanni
when we go to her
nods
lair,
for a moment and he says, listen, we're stuck between a rock and a hard place. Either way, this thing has to die or more people are going to perish. So yeah, it's risky having it close to the village, but I think it's more sure than having her fly away and come and leave for what, a couple weeks, a month, 2 months? Maybe she's patient, and then she'll come back in force. Right?
what he said. Yeah.
Now I'm talking to myself. God damn it.
What?
No, you're not. We
Nope,
can hear
no,
you.
you're good.
No, you're not.
He can't
Yeah.
hear us.
He can't hear us.
Sorry.
Ah!
We can hear you.
Oh, oh, good. So
Yeah,
you
yeah,
Yeah, we heard
Yeah.
everything.
Yeah, we heard all of that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, at least I'm not. At least it's only one way.
So yeah, out of character, it would be the comfort of them the thing not being in the town, as well as town people won't freak out as much if we attack the lair there, or having a better chance of it at least it's going to be in a room. So if we do almost anything like close the doors, have a trap laid out when it comes in, kill it then and there or whatnot, we have a very good chance of actually capturing dash killing it. A much higher one than if we tried to try to get it towards like a theoretical tree line that it might just look at us and fly away.
Yeah.
I'm assuming there's no way to get the civilians to say cluster into one building or something like that without causing panic, right?
He says it would be tricky, and I would need your help since many of you are known to them. They might trust you. Us combined, it might work. It might work. And in fact, if we plan on laying the trap, maybe it's best just to be honest with them
Yeah, I
and
mean,
try to manage the panic
we
that
could
way.
make some reasonable assumptions about where she's going to be relative to the bed and how we're going to approach her and which way stray shots or whatever might go, right?
Yeah, yeah.
That is definitely better, yes.
Giovanni says the only other way I can think of it is if we strike her lair, we have one person go on way on ahead as bait. Once again, I'd volunteer for that. So she thinks, and it makes sense for me, I'm the lone protector of the village. I'm going out, I'm looking for her, she falls on me, attacks me. Then you guys come in and spring in. But unfortunately, it doesn't really box her in, but at least forces her out to attack.
That also requires us all to be like relatively stealthy somewhere near you while you're probably moving. Like there's
Giovanni,
way more,
oh, sorry.
just way more opportunity for all of us to get caught, I would think.
Agreed.
Giovanni, how many people are in this village?
He says, well, with the 4 newer families, we got ourselves 56 souls.
I see. Give me a second. I'm just reading something real quick. You guys keep going.
Put them in the cellar.
They could. There's enough cellars in all the homes. It'd be a little tight for some of the families, but I bet you they all could. They definitely could. Giovanni
Let's
says.
just run back to town and shout tornado.
That's what I was thinking, honestly. I live in this area. That's a real legitimate fear.
And Giovanni says, that's not half a bad idea. Instead of tell them that there is a threat that they need to get in shelter from, but don't say it's some supernatural monster. It's a natural disaster.
I like this idea. Yeah.
The only problem is that none of them are going to want to be in the cellar with the sick fellow, so he'll have to take one by himself. The rest of it will be cramped, but yeah, no, that's probably doable.
And if we can get them into a few cellars, worst comes to worst, I can cast a barrier around the door. But if they're underground, then the chances of them getting hurt are very small.
Yeah. All right. Sounds like we have ourselves a plan.
Can our plan include going to the washroom really quickly here? Since we've been at this for 2 hours.
Giovanni says, I'm sure this guy won't mind being in the same room as the sick person. He points over the unconscious. And we could sneak him into town once everyone else is in their cellar. Yeah. That'll make him nice and safe, too.
I agree.
Okay. Excellent. So, quick bathroom break, and then we're going to enact this plan. Okay, goodbye. I made this nice little forest map, but goodbye, Witch's Lair. We're going to do something else cool. So while you guys are going to the washroom, I'm going to go open up the whiteboard here. And unfortunately, it's not going to be as fancy as my other one, but that's okay.
That's okay.
It'll have just as much heart, though.
Well, it's all in my opinion, it's all in the actual description of stuff, right? I mean, it's all imagination, so why not, right?
Imagination.
That's right.
Oh,
a circle that doesn't want to delete.
I'll allow it.
I will allow it. Uh-oh. Circle, why are you on a different layer? You must be in a different layer. No. Well, that's annoying. You're still a stupid circle. Oh, never mind. It's gone now. Good. So I'm probably gonna just do the possible combat area, which is the actual home itself. Yeah.
I'm back.
Welcome back.
Oh, we have a map.
Yep. You do. I'm whipping it up real quick while people are using their washroom because my outdoor map isn't going to be used because you guys aren't going that route, which is great. Now we get to see Inferno's amazing drawing abilities. I know. Just
Hey,
try
all of
calm
your
yourself.
squares have perfect right angles. Very well done.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. I do try.
Here's a question. Inferno?
Yo,
Oh, wait, I guess we're still streaming, huh? Ah, never mind.
you
I'll ask
sure
this another time.
are. You're gonna wait?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, maybe I might be misremembering it, or I might have forgotten to write it down, or whatnot. So the Sharp, the enchantment that Sharp got, I wrote everything down. Unless was there something about if there's a certain type of enemy, like an evil type of enemy?
They
there's
are
something
holy
extra to
weapons.
it?
Yeah,
Did holy damage.
Right. So it does extra holy damage. Do we know what that extra is?
It's not extra. It just
if you use
it's
it,
just counted as a holy weapon. Got it.
Yeah.
it's
Yes.
counted as a holy weapon, so it can hurt creatures that can only be hurt by holy weapons, or
like
do extra damage to holy weapons. In which then I would tell you to roll.
I need to clear that.
think of it like a silver weapon or a wooden weapon or a steel weapon to certain things.
Right.
Yeah.
Think
Got
of
it.
it
This
as
one is
blessed.
holy.
Mm,
Yeah, or blessed. Yeah,
Thank you.
because it literally is blessed.
Oh, and I've decided, for the sake of not being silly, that I've just reduced its name to Sharp. There's no reason to call it Sharp, Sharp, Sharp. That's just redundant
That's
to
what
an extreme.
wait, that's what Newzoot called it, and are you calling Newzoot silly?
Mhm.
No, I'm calling the name
Yes.
redundant.
Dare
Yes,
you.
he
Recognizable
is.
character.
No, I'm calling the name. I am calling the name redundant. You draw whatever conclusions from that you like.
Okay.
I like
Throw a
Sharp.
smiley face.
Oh, well, I have to get rid of this new Zoot plushie I made.
Oh
You
no,
made a
this
new
is no.
Zoot plushie.
And when you squish it, it goes picnic time.
Oh, God, I love you.
This
picking
is something
time.
I would pay money for.
I actually now really want it, and I'm super sad it's not
I know.
real.
All right, I'm gonna just put in the neighboring houses in case of collateral damage. That's a neighboring house there.
Ooh,
What's
this
the
is lovely,
dotted line?
Inferno.
Thank you. That's a neighboring house there.
What's the dotted line?
That's the threshold between the bedroom and the main living area.
Is there an actual wall between the
Like, is
two,
it
or
a
is
step
it?
or what's the threshold?
Well, the threshold is actually a line of curtains
Mm,
on like rollers, I guess you could say. Since they don't, since this was built as one big room, it's like a privacy curtain.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
makes sense.
There's also there's going to be also miscellaneous furniture in here, but I'm not gonna draw it because that would just take too much time. So give me just 2 seconds to grab myself a drink of water, and we'll get going.
Sweet. I have made macros for all of my weapons now.
I'm so proud of you.
I'm glad. Thank you. It means a lot to me.
Oh wait, was that Squee talking? I'm not proud of you then.
That's
strangely, I
Oh.
still feel as grateful as I did before.
Huh? What's this?
I was just being a jerk.
Criana is not proud of me, and I am okay with this.
Yeah, what else is new?
A Laven carriage is looking pretty spiffy there on that overlay.
Okay, are we all here?
I need a
Yes,
new
think so.
token.
Yes, you
Oh,
do.
yeah.
We'll make a new token for you.
Yes.
Not now.
Yeah.
We're good to rock and roll. Is everyone here?
Yeah, I think so.
Yep.
Great. So we're going to go a little. So you head back in town, head back towards the town of Fletcher, in which Giovanni quickly gathers everyone up towards the center of the village. He explains to them that although his friends are here to help to determine and cure this illness that affected Coombe and over here, there's a little bit more dire news. While they were out scouting the general area, we saw a twister on its way here. We only have ourselves a few minutes before it passes through. We're going to take one cellar to use for the sick Mr. Johnston. The rest of you, please, I appreciate it if you would share and keep aside your own personal proclivities and wait for the storm to pass. It should only take a few hours, and then everyone should be fine. Now, do you guys, as your characters, do you want to chip in or contribute to this, or do you want Giovanni to take over?
I'm an elf. I should not contribute to this.
Okay.
I make things worse when I talk, so I
I
won't.
think Patrick, noted without any of his weapons, will be standing aside, just giving reassuring body language.
Okay.
Ellie, or not Ellie, Cynthia. Wow,
Yeah.
it gets confusing, don't it?
Yeah.
Will be making like moves with her body, like it looks like interpretive dancing, but she's trying to describe what's going on. So when he says twister, she'll start spinning around with her arms outstretched.
Okay. The folks looked a little confused at the physical interpretation of what Giovanni's saying, but reassured by some of the body language and startled by the fact that there's a twister coming. You do hear a few of the citizens bemoaning what else could possibly come for this poor, simple, humble village. Perhaps a dragon will arrive next and torch them all, or some similar thing like that. But with a little bit of brevity. And after sussing out a fight between two family members, one from Coombe, one from Fletcher, who don't want to share a cellar because they're blaming the folks from Coombe for putting them in this bad situation with the sickness to begin with. But Giovanni breaks away from you to settle that dispute. And after some yelling and some threats, and Giovanni sorting everybody down and kind of giving them, for lack of a better word, a little kick in the ass, and let them know that this is not the time or the place for this, they begrudgingly head into the cellar itself. Their cellar. So everyone is safe and sound. Giovanni directs you guys to the cellar in which the sick Mr. Johnson is staying, and the poor unconscious bloke that you rescued from the campground is quickly shuffled underneath there. You all make sure everyone's safe and sound, and when you close the cellar door, you're now here prepared to set up your trap. So as you can see by the map, the Johnston house is pretty simple. The green square is the main door, while the blue squares are windows. Now, these windows in these simple log homes don't have any sort of screen or glass paneling. They're literally open windows to the outside. So it's very easy to get in and out of them. In addition, there is a small root cellar that should be able to fit all of you, albeit a little bit cramped, relatively comfortably. And as mentioned before, while we're on our break, that dotted line is just a simple privacy divider between the bedroom and the main living room, in which a simple long black curtain lies, which can be easily pushed to one side or another. Giovanni quickly checks with you and see if it is all right that he poses as the sick Mr. Johnston inside of his bed.
Yeah.
Giovanni pauses for a moment and he says, "There's one small complication I just realized."
Good.
What?
There's a Mrs. Johnston, And although she might not sit or sleep next to her husband in the bed, she'd probably be in the next room over, sleeping on the floor or perhaps sprawled out onto one of the chairs there, he points. So if we were to make this look as authentic as possible, he kind of looks over towards Cynthia or Ellie. We might need a woman to pose as Mrs. Johnson.
She gives a little wink and says, "You just want me in bed with you."
Giovanni kind of blinks for a moment and he gives like a startled laugh and he says, neither the time or the place or something like that, but thanks. I needed that to break the tension.
All right, just put me where you want me. Or you, yeah.
Giovanni kind of scratches his 5 o'clock shadow and he says, well, I think she'd be, if I was completely alone in bed, I have a feeling that monster would more likely creep inside. Why don't we get yourself a few blankets, you sit off into that chair in the corner by the fireplace, make it look like you've dozed off. Sound good?
I can do that.
All right. The rest of you, what do you want to do? Well, in fact, if you need my assistance for anything, let me know. I don't know how long it's going to take for this creature to strike, so I'm going to get set up, change into Johnson's clothes, and get into the bed. One last thing, he says. I don't care if I'm screaming blue murder. You're absolutely right, Al, he says, when you were concerned about the well-being of the folks here. The prime objective, and I want you all to swear to me right now, is to capture and then later kill this thing. If I am screaming agony, if I'm not myself, I come second. You understand?
Mm-hmm.
We haven't had a chance to get into this, but I owe a lot to the people of this town, and I'm connected to these people of this town now. I believe that everyone has a place, a purpose in their life, and I finally found mine. So I'm willing to sacrifice myself for it. I don't want it to happen, but I'm willing. Okay?
As you say, well, hopefully it won't come to that.
Okay. So out of character, strategy-wise, we're going to have Ellie in the corner by the fire. Oh, here, I'll put in the fireplace.
Yeah.
Put in the fireplace here. It'll be gray.
Put the fire on. Nice and
There you
toasty.
go. There you go. But how about for the rest of you gentlemen? How do you want to strategize in regards to this? I'll give you a few moments.
So, the goal is capture and move, yes?
I guess.
Take down, if we can.
We can probably kill this thing with what we have. Possible things that are bad about that, structural stuff for house, as well as sound and things where people go like, what was that?
Thunder.
So capture is best to then move. But if we have a way to kill it without doing both of those things, that'd be optimal. That'd be best.
Capturing and moving things tends to be a lot more difficult in my experience than just killing them.
It does. We do have a few means of either knockout or incapacitation without them speaking or being able to thrash a whole ton. But yes, it is a lot more difficult than taking a gun and shooting the thing. Now, just to verify, do we know if this is an SDC or MDC creature?
I think that's out of character. Yeah. I don't know. And Laven would be the only one that would know, I think. Oh, no, unless you rolled a good one, too. I don't know. I know Inferno gave us a bunch of information. I don't think that was one of the things given to us.
I thought it was an MDC creature, but I'm not 100% sure on that.
it is probably just because of the odds, but if it's an STC one, that makes things a lot easier.
Smart's having a rough time tonight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
4-4 now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Poor Inferno.
I don't understand why it's just him. I mean, I've switched from it being on US Central to US West. Changed it to US East. I've tried several different things.
I went to all of its birthday parties.
I've got one guy in my other group that always has trouble too.
Yeah.
So it might just be a weird blip with Discord.
Wait a second. What kind of birthday gifts did you give it?
It looks like all of his
Stripper?
internet is down or something.
Oh, well then, yeah,
Oh.
that's not an excuse. I don't understand.
I guess let's just do vague stuff for. If it's STC, great. We can probably kill it normally. If it's MDC,
Hello?
anything that we do that doesn't hit this creature will just blow apart the house.
Yes. Yeah.
So
Okay.
Go ahead. Sorry.
So I see Laven's going to be in the cellar with Tom.
Yeah. We were just talking if we had any information about whether or not this was an MDC or STC creature or something like
Oh, without a doubt, it's supernatural in a magically enriched environment.
Mhm.
You would definitely, or at least Patrick would know because of his lore check, 100% MDC.
that. That's what I thought.
okay.
Yeah. So here's the thing: do we all have MDC capabilities that doesn't involve shooting things
Hammer.
and knives? Yeah.
Swords.
Hammer.
Because that would make things a lot less dangerous.
Mhm.
Okay.
So I do have means to help to defeat said foe without doing MDC range damage.
Okay. Well, how about placement? First of all, I guess you're trying to figure out how you're going to attack it before you place it.
Honestly, though, I think we all kind of have to be in the cellar, right?
I don't
Yeah,
see an
otherwise
option
it's
there.
going to see you.
Yeah,
Mhm.
because even invisibility it can see. So we're pretty much just going to have to determine who goes out first.
Okay.
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 All at once.
Cynthia, we need a code word when things are bad. What are you gonna say? Tippy toe banana? What?
Sure.
Tippy toe banana?
Sounds good to me.
So Patrick is going to hand off his particular ring to. Shoot, I want to call him Firestarter, and that's not his name.
Firebrand.
Giovanni?
Firebrand.
Firebrand, thank you.
Firebrand, yes.
Firestarter.
This is the reason why he's called the Firebrand, which we'll get into later when he's not being bait for a monster. Okay, you're gonna give him the ring, and he's gonna say, "What does this do?"
Okay, it's a magical item. It has a command word to set off specific abilities. Patrick's gonna make sure that he's not touching the ring. If you say Star Strike, it will have a.
Hey, I can't hear you, Piph. Guys, can we just try Skype and see if it's any
Sure.
better?
Okay.
Sure.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah.
Hello?
Hello?
Hello.
Hello.
Okay, we'll see if it's any better. If it's not, then no big deal. But it's a worthwhile experiment because
Yeah. That's a pain
I haven't
in the
used
butt.
Skype. Am I coming through?
yep,
Yes.
Okay,
You are.
just making sure.
you
things
sound
are set up
perfectly
right.
fine. Yeah, you sound great. Good stuff. Okay, is everyone here on the call?
Not yet. Not Squee.
Squeeze not.
Squee. Okay, we'll wait for Squee here.
I guess just to make time, Patrick will explain the keyword. It's Star Strike, I believe. Starstruck. That's what it is. And he's going to say you can use this once. Sorry, you can use this 3 times but this is to make sure that if you get the upper hand on him, this will disorient him and buy us enough time to make sure that he doesn't leap out a window or something like that.
Nods and he says, "Okay, all right, starstruck. All right." And he puts the ring on and slides his hands underneath his pillows, like kind of hiding them, as he once again gets into position. Squee?
Come on, Squee.
You can do this, Squee. I believe in you.
What is he typing? Oh, Squee.
Ski.
Ski.
Ski. Where are you, Ski?
There,
Huh?
there we go.
Hello.
There we go. Alrighty, perfect. All right, so you handed off the ring, and you all get down into the cellar, maybe with the last words of Laven getting a code word of, what was it? Something about bananas?
Tippy toe banana.
Tippy toe banana. And he closes the cellar door. And okay, so I'm going to move ahead, obviously, with the next important thing. But yeah, I'm not gonna. I mean, you guys might be waiting here for quite some time. So, do you want to make some preparations, either amongst yourselves or just getting the proper weapons out? Patrick's holding up 2 of his net rounds, which is good. How about this? So you're not all three stooging it out the cellar door. Maybe just decide who goes out the door first.
Sure.
Patrick first, then me, then Laven.
mm.
How does that sound? Or should Patrick be last?
I think stealthiest first.
Well,
Because you might want to try to creep up on this thing. Yeah.
right. Another way to go about it too is perhaps people that could incapacitate her first with, say, the net rounds or carpet of adhesion or something of that nature.
All right. To be clear, the curtain is going to be completely drawn
Right.
between the bedroom and the room, so there won't be any direct line of sight just yet in regards to that, which can be a good thing if you want to sneak up on her, or a bad thing if you want to attack her the second you get out the cellar door.
Yeah. So let's do sneaky first.
I'll be last out. Wait, Patrick, are you sneaky?
No.
Okay, I'll be second last out.
All right then. Tom, you're the best at sneaking. I guess I'm probably the second best, and then those two.
Okay. All right. Well, no need to keep belaboring the point here. I'm gonna just move on ahead. Am I good? Is there anything else you guys want to ask me, or just so you're completely comfortable with this setup?
I am good.
Yeah,
Sure.
I think I'm good.
You guys are all good? Okay, excellent. Okay. So, an hour passes. 20 more minutes pass. The sun has now completely set beyond the horizon, and it's now gone beyond twilight. Another hour passes. You begin to hear the night birds and the crickets chirping out amongst the tree line. Well, Cynthia more than the other fellows stuck in the cellar. It is about this time that Patrick, your Creat, your medallion that you keep around your neck, begins to vibrate once more. And Cynthia, I'd like you to roll me a D100. This is kind of a general perceptive check, and I'm taking into account your super abilities to hear. Okay. You begin to hear very, very soft, careful footsteps on the other side of the log cabin. It's probably, they're moving here. Let me just ping the map. I'm just making sure I'm in the right layer first.
Mm-hmm.
Layer. Okay, token layer. Good. Here. I was kind of moving here. and here. And the movement stops.
Are there any windows or anything open, or is it all
All the
sealed?
windows are all the little blue squares are all windows, and they're all open windows. There's no screen or window or anything like that, like glass plane blocking it.
Hmm.
Yeah. Doors closed. Cellar doors closed. Hear the Criat. Anything you guys like to do, or would you like to wait?
Cynthia's gonna start tiptoeing over to the cellar door.
Okay. All right. I'd like you to roll me a prowl check.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. How much you succeed by?
Let me check here. Prowl. I get a 98% in prowl, so by a
Oh
lot.
my god. Oh my god, you fucking cat burglar, you. You already knew walking through here, there's a couple boards that creak due to the how old this little cottage is. But you definitely avoid them and move over to the cellar door. What would you like to do?
I would like to slowly open it.
Okay. With an excellent prowl success, you slowly open it so the little hinges don't make a single squeak. And
she'll look in, and who does she see first?
she sees, fuck, I can't even decide who you guys is. Tom's right by the ladder there.
And then Tom, she's gonna try and hang on, let me make sure I have this ability. The one that
Telepathy?
yes, she has that one.
Yeah.
So she's gonna telepathically try and communicate with Tom, tippy toe banana.
Oh, okay. Then I will try and stealth out of the cellar.
Okay. Roll me prowl.
All right. Skill roll. Prowl. Got a 45 out of 92.
Okay. You carefully and slowly move up every single step of the ladder, leaving up from the little cellar there, the dirt cellar. And the most difficult part is disembarking the ladder to make sure you don't make a single noise, but you do so deftly, and you get up to the main living room. You can see that black curtain is completely drawn into the bedroom itself, but you can, at this point, sense something is on the other side. Yeah.
Okay.
Who's after Tom?
That would be me. So
She'll lock eyes with you. Same thing.
got it.
Get used for my SP, I think.
Yeah. Please use your eye.
I am.
I succeed by 2. Holy crap.
Good. You take a few steps, Al, and you carefully go up the cellar ladder. And as you do so, all of you can hear a horrible blood. Oh my God, what's it saying?
Curdling?
Blood curdling.
Yeah, blood curdling, agonized scream. It sounds like Giovanni in the bedroom. It sounds like he is in severe pain.
Yeah, okay. I think caution is done now, right?
I think so.
Yeah, so we're gonna rush.
Okay, I think it's a roll for initiative time. Is that what you're telling me?
Yeah,
That
I
seems
think
fair.
That's a
That
good
seems
point.
like a fair.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. We'll have you roll it. I'll have you all roll your own initiatives. I'll deal with. Oh my goodness. Nightmare. Oh, Nilak and Bunique, you're not here anymore. You're back up in the Arctic, back home. Hopefully, you're actually on your way home.
You just cut over to like them dead in the frozen wasteland.
No, man.
What the hell?
Fucking-
Oh, he said hopefully.
You know, all of us, and out of all of this, fucking Spiral is the one just laughing his ass off.
Well, yeah,
That's all right.
that would be funny.
You're a monster.
Hey, I saved that guy from drowning.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah.
Am I saying Firebrand? The Firebrand. Spoiler alert. He has half his attacks right now. I, he's in agonizing pain for some reason. He should still get an initiative. Oh, wait. Let me check. Oh, he automatically loses initiative. Lucky him. So he gets a 0. Oh, you need a link to the initiative page? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought I had that bookmarked, and I don't seem to.
That's okay. It's in Roll20 there for you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I'm going to roll my monsters initiative.
I am outwardly judging you.
You are?
You son of a bitch.
Okay.
Now a lot more people can access the Roll20. Access the initiative.
Yeah.
It's okay.
Oh, well.
What's up?
Well, because the link is in the stream, right?
Yeah, the link is in the stream.
In the stream?
So people
Yeah,
can.
now everyone sees the link to the spreadsheet.
No, why did you... I didn't put it in the stream. I put it in the...
In
In our
Roll20,
Roll20.
which is on the stream.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Good. Okay, yeah, sure. Hey, everybody. Yeah, memorize these fucking numbers and have the patience to type that out just so you can get to our fucking spreadsheet. Yeah, okay. All right. You know what? If some nerd is so interested in doing that, he deserves to get into our initiative. What's the worst he can do? Delete it? Fine. We'll make a new one.
we get there. It's just a bunch of troll names.
Oh my
Whatever.
God.
Oh my god. That was such a that I was waiting for the wind up and the reveal was just perfect. Are we starting at T? Do we start at T?
Yeah,
let's start T.
Okay. Piph is still losing it.
Yeah, it's just one of the things. Okay, anywho. All right, did everyone get their initiative in? No, I don't think Laven does. I don't think he said -1.
Oh, sorry. No, I'm
You
at.
might have
I'm
rolled
at 2.
really badly.
Pretty bad.
You rolled a
roll.
2?
Yeah.
All right, everyone else is in?
Yes.
Everyone has their initiative plugged in, yes?
Yeah.
Yes, I think so. Yeah.
Okay. All right. I'm going to sort it then. Somehow. No, I know how to. Sort range, column D, Z to A sort. Yeah! I'm the best. Okay. Ellie, you hear these blood-curdling screams coming from the next room. What do you do?
I would like to just charge and
Okay.
at least make sure I'm in front of blocking this window. And if I run into something, that's great. If I don't,
Well,
then
you're
that.
gonna run into the curtain. Are you cool with that? I mean, if you keep on
Yeah.
going, the curtain will go above your head.
Yeah.
But so you plan on beelining it straight to this window to kind of block it.
Yeah. And
Okay.
maybe having like her hammer being like pulled out as she's doing it.
Okay. Give me just one moment. I have a picture for you.
Oh.
Because this is gonna be really interesting. Where are you?
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh my god. Well.
So
Jack
you
tastes
run.
good.
You run through the curtain. You barrel through the curtain itself, and for a moment your vision is blocked. As the black curtain scoots over your face, you keep on moving and you thump right into the greasy side of the monstrosity before you. This other hag, as you can see by her facial features, has this hook nose, this greasy, oily, dark green skin. She is 12 feet tall, so tall she is hunched over the ceiling. She hunches her back, and the top of her back hits the tip of the ceiling itself. Her eyes are these dark, putrid yellow, and her legs are bird-like in a sense of the way they're shaped. She is barely wearing any clothing, and her body resembles that of an 80-year-old woman. I would like you to roll a sense of balance and make it harder by 15 because you just thumped into another being.
Sure. 15. Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, yeah, so you managed to collect yourself. You can see also a clawed hand has wrapped itself around Giovanni's forehead as he is just thrashing in an epileptic fit of agony. I think she has discovered that he is not the Johnson fellow. All right, so that was Ellie. Tom?
Well,
You see a flash of curtain before the curtain settles into place, and you hear a thump.
Okay. I would like to go through the curtains, but after doing so, activate my swords. Would that take 2 actions?
Well, tell you what. You rush in like Ellie did, takes 1 action. If you go carefully, so you push the curtain aside so you see where you're going, it'll take 2 actions. And you can go place yourself anywhere in the bedroom.
I'll just rush in.
Okay, you're going to rush in. All right, spend an action. Without metagaming, okay. You're just going to follow in after Ellie?
Yeah, after Ellie.
Okay, all right. I'd like you to roll me a sense of balance check.
Okay.
Because you might be running into Ellie.
All right. Should I make it a penalty?
Only by 5.
Okay. 26 out of 93.
Okay, good. So you come through, but your quick reflexes allow you to step to one side and not thunk into Ellie's back. And I'm going to wait. Actually, no, I'm not going to wait because it's going to be the Nightmare's turn now. Ellie and Tom, I'd like you to roll save versus horror factor. Okay. You have to get higher than a 12.
All right. Let me just quick check my character sheet.
You should have some bonus, actually, because of the blessings.
3.
Ah, dang it.
Yeah.
Okay, so Ellie made it, but Tom did not. Give me 2 seconds there, Tom. And we're going to do a horror factor check, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Where's my horror factor? Okay. Horror. So failure. So you're going to roll versus your ME. So roll your dice. Roll your dice first. So roll a d20.
Okay. Just a natural d20?
Just roll a d20, no modifiers.
14.
All right, what's your ME? What's your mental endurance score?
23.
Okay, so 23 minus 14. It's a plus 9.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Good news. You're able to overcome a lot of the horror. There you have no attack loss, but all your bonuses to strike, parry, and dodge are going to be -1, but just for this first melee round. Okay? So you have a -1 penalty.
Okay.
Ruby?
Yeah.
Okay. Nightmare's turn. She turns around at the intruders. She gnashes her teeth, and I think she's going to deal with the threat that walked into her. Now, what is she going to do? Oh, it's like a cornucopia of horror. Let's strike you. Okay. I would like you now to say versus psionics. Mila. I mean, Cynthia, whoever you are.
I can do that. I can do that when I find the right tab. Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh,
See the 12. What did you need to get? You don't know?
Oh, right. That's on my character sheet, isn't it?
Yeah, it's on your character sheet. Yeah.
12.
Oh, so you just succeeded. Okay, that's good. You feel this horrible, sickening presence in your mind, and you feel your legs begin to seize up, but you mentally push out that cruel, evil force and are able to maintain control of your own limbs. That was her action. Patrick.
Patrick leaps from the cellar.
Al's in front of you, and there's only one ladder.
Patrick waits and holds his turn triumphantly.
Okay. Okay, Al. You're halfway up the ladder, as I described before.
All right. I'm going to finish getting up the ladder, and then there's still a big curtain in the way, right?
Sure is.
Al's going to rip the curtain down so that everyone behind him doesn't have to go through a curtain that can't see what's going on.
All right. Roll me a physical strength. I mean, no, not roll me a physical strength. What is your physical strength?
Physical strength is 15.
All right. Roll me. Tearing down curtain is not going to be all that hard. We're going to triple that. So that's 45. Now we'll quadruple that. 60. Roll me D100. Get under a 60.
Okay. Nope.
No. So you pull at the curtain and you manage to pull off this lower half. But the upper half is still draped over. You'll need to give another tug on your next turn.
All right.
Laven.
Can I go up the ladder?
Yep. Ladder's clear now.
Okay.
Also, Patrick, you can take your action anytime between now and your next turn.
Okay.
Okay. But Laven, go ahead.
So how much of my turn does that take? Going up the ladder?
Well,
Could
I don't know. You're pretty strong and agile. What is climbing a ladder, which should just take a couple seconds. So you can do something else that takes another second or two.
Well, the curtain's down at the bottom, so I think I would try and, or at least I guess I would move until I was in line of sight of the
creature, which is actually right there.
Okay, that's
perfect. Unfortunately, I don't think you'd be able to do anything else. All your time would be moving. But now that you can see this grotesque thing, I would like you to roll me save versus horror factor. I'm remembering horror factor, guys.
Yeah, I was thinking that when you were describing her.
Oh, you succeed, Laven. Excellent. She's a disgusting creature, but she doesn't scare you, Laven. Okay. That's Laven. Firebrand is still in a lot of agony, but what he is going to do is he's going to feebly roll himself away now that the creature has taken her claw off. No, wait, no, she didn't take her hand off his forehead. He's still pinned. He's going to try to struggle against her. Oh, and fail. I know you have to roll for her. So he's still pinned down there, unfortunately. Okay, do you want to take your turn now, Patrick?
Yes.
Okay.
Patrick bravely climbs the ladder.
Huh? You got yourself another second or two?
I can move. Let's see. I can actually move pretty far.
Mm-hmm.
Patrick wields his amazing legs around to about here.
What are
I
you
love
doing?
it.
God, what is that?
Roll versus horror factor.
Patrick comes out of the cellar wearing a top hat and a monocle.
Clearly. He succeeds. Wow, +6. Good stuff.
Yeah, just for everyone else, the unicorn actually gave us a +3 as well.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
So we
that's
should
my
have a
+3.
+6 total.
Well, except for Laven.
I don't know what unicorn you speak of, Mr. Coffin.
His name was Leon. He was amazing. Anyway.
Where's the
Okay.
other +3 coming from?
From the
angel
other
bait.
thing that just blessed us.
Embryo.
Oh,
Angel?
I didn't add that.
Yeah,
Oh,
the
well.
baby.
Embryo.
Oh. Well, I would have failed
Spirit
anyway.
baby.
So.
Light baby
Right.
says hi. Still love that.
So I
Baby chat.
succeed and stand
Okay.
triumphantly.
All right. Ellie, your turn.
Ellie is going to take her hammer, switch it over to the MDC, and say, "That's not how you get a man," and then slam it down on her foot.
All right, so that's going to be a called shot to the foot. Thing is that her foot is really big, so it's only going to be a penalty of -1 to strike. So what's your bonus to strike?
Let's take a look.
Should be pretty high
On...
because it blessed your hammer and probably
Oh
has
God, I didn't switch. I haven't updated my
That's
hammer
another
stuff.
+2 to strike for that
Okay,
blessed hammer.
so the strike is 12 normally. So now
So
it's 14.
Oh my God! So roll 1d20 and add 13. Just don't roll a 1 and you'll hit it. God damn. Ow.
Oh, I wish I could scream.
And here's the thing too, it's holy. So not only are you gonna do double damage, but you're gonna do double damage.
Goodbye, foot. Okay, so damage for my hammer is 2d4.
Like dragon bone
So-
and
Yeah.
2d4 plus 10.
Wait,
yeah, because it's blessed
It's
and
blessed.
it gives you plus 10 damage.
Okay.
Okay, so 2d4 plus 10.
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
well,
So
damn it.
12, so
48.
24, so 48. Still goodbye foot.
It could have been so much better, Inferno. I wanted that foot to be obliterated. Like
It's
super.
pretty close. You bring your hammer down on its 3-digit clawed-like foot, and you bash it so much that you break, absolutely shatter the front 2 toe digits, the claws,
Mhm.
and break the ankle itself. It is completely and utterly injured and crushed. In fact, you can see bits of black bone stick out from where her ankle was, and she gives out this horrible gurgling shriek. Oh boy, she's coming for you.
Oh boy.
She is hurt. She is hurt bad. Tom.
Okay. Just to make sure I was able to turn on my swords last time, right?
Yeah, yes, I let you. You just rushed in and almost ran into Ellie and
Okay.
killed her with them. Yeah, no big deal.
Is there enough room for me to get next to Ellie and attack this thing?
Yes. However, since this thing is very large, and Ellie's in hand to hand, you have limited mobility. So I'm gonna give you a -2 to your strike. So with your horror factor
that's fine.
failed, you're gonna have a -3
-3.
as a base. Yeah.
Got it. Okay. So I am going to attack with my blacklight blade.
Okay.
So just a normal body hit. So
Okay.
1d20 plus 7. Are you kidding me?
You miss.
All right.
Oof.
Then
I didn't have the stupid nightmare try to do a defensive action. Next time I guess we're gonna say you caught her unaware with the foot smash.
yeah.
She could totally have parried that. What's the matter? Oh wait, it was a natural.
It was a
20.
crit,
All she
so,
was
yeah.
able to do was roll the punch. That's right. Okay, never mind. You're fine. You can't roll
So-
with punch with strike to the foot.
that's my turn.
that's called
Okay.
rolling an
Yeah,
ankle.
comment. Oh my god. Okay. Just give me 2 seconds, because I might be trying to find the nastiest thing she could do to you, Cynthia.
God.
Well, that's a pleasant
Oh,
thing to hear a
I
GM
know.
say.
Oh. It's not the nastiest thing, but she tried to get in your head and you resisted her. And she needs you out of the way. This is gonna... How much do you weigh? Okay.
That is the nastiest thing you can do to a woman.
That is really
Ask them how much
rude.
they weigh. Yeah.
Okay.
That's some psychic
I got-
damage right
okay,
there.
sorry, I had to just do a quick mental calculation. Also, Skype is working so much better now. So suddenly, Cynthia, you find yourself, without her even touching you, you are telekinetically lifted and flung
Oof.
past the curtain, slamming against the wall here, and causing a bit of a dent as well. As although she definitely used quite a bit of mental energy, she pretty much Jedi fucking pushed you out of the way. And unfortunately, since it's a telekinetic strike, you can't really parry that or anything like that, right? And it wasn't trying to get in your head. So now you are wearing body armor, right?
Yeah, the gladiator, whatchamacallit.
Yeah. So it's just going to be a little SDC damaged as you get jostled around.
Okay.
Because it was a pretty big push. So you take 1 point of SDC.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah, so you just get bumped around a little bit. So barely, doesn't even hurt you, really.
Yeah.
Okay, but that's the Nightmare's turn. Although it's not she's not completely done. She's seeing a lot of people here. So she's beginning... Oh, wait. She also turns invisible. There we go. That's her turn. Patrick.
Bitch.
Oh shit. Like I guess at this point she's like just turning invisible.
Yep, she just disappeared out of sight. In the matter of a second. So, and she's big and she can't pass through doors, so she can't pass through physical walls.
Right.
So,
I guess
so she's still in the room.
He'll aim and try to shoot at where... Oh, wait, hold on. Okay, yeah, that's still in range. Aim and try to shoot at where this particular thing at least was.
Okay. So this is interesting. I'm gonna make it the same penalty as if you were blind. You're not actually blind, but if you're trying to attack an object that you can't see, right?
Mhm.
So your 2 strike is going to be at a -9.
Ouch.
But I think that's fair, don't you? Because if you succeed, then you'll get her. But if you don't
Yes.
succeed, you'll miss her. Yeah.
Alright, so it would be like this. Okay. Yes.
And it doesn't have to be a call shot, and you're within 50 feet, so...
I have a
Yes,
pretty
just
good
get
chance
over
at
far.
this.
Okay, good.
Mm,
Hey, you hit her, which is good, because if you missed, you might have gotten Tom.
that's what I was worried about.
Okay. Net comes and it's literally like the spell, right? Magic
Yes. It is just magic net.
Net. It is literally just magic net. Snare 1d6 human-sized victims within a 10-foot area. That counts. Make damage when magic can affect the net. 2 fatal melee rounds. Oh wait, she can try a dodge by rolling a 16 or higher. She's gonna try a dodge. Give me just 2 seconds. Come on, you stupid bitch. Oh, +2. Okay. Oh, this isn't a good chance, but we'll see. Oh, so your net flies there, and you're quite certain it's where she was. but unfortunately it sticks against the wall behind her, covering a big portion of that window, however. Effectively blocking a good chunk of it from being passed through. Okay. Al. Wait, you guys can hear me, right?
Yeah,
Yes.
I can hear you. She's invisible. I don't know exactly what's going on. I saw who I still know as Ellie thrown through the curtain all the way to the other side of the wall.
Yes, you sure did. Hey, good news. The rest of the curtain's gone now.
Okay. Does that mean I
took
can?
the rest of
Now
it
I
with
can't see her. I don't have to roll horror factor because I can't see her.
Yeah.
Can I throw a sack of flour at where the net just hit?
Sure, if you want. Oh
Let's
my
just
god.
say you have the shiny thing. Like, you were so adamant about throwing things at her.
No, but
you can have the...
I mean, I'm sure I'm good with that. I just assumed you had them because you never gave them out.
Yeah, I didn't even give out the goggles, and to be honest, I don't even know how we would use them with mega damage armor. I'm not even sure if it'd fit.
Right. I mean, like, I'm okay having it. I don't know if that's fair or not because you got them, but you never gave them to anyone.
You know what? For the sake of simplicity, we can say he easily handed it off to you.
Sure. I am all for that then. I throw this
Let's
thing
be fair.
that I don't really know how it works. I mean, I've seen it work before, so Al does. I don't.
All right.
Is it the blue orb?
Yeah.
Actually, yes. You just hurl it in the general direction. Is that all you do?
Yes.
All right. Just roll me a 1d20. Don't roll a 1, because rolling a 1 means you fumbled it.
Okay.
Okay. So the good news about this object is that you don't have to, I mean, it's there to detect invisible things. It's pretty useless if you have to hit the invisible thing. So it actually hits the wall. Actually, I'm going to say it hits Tom. It hits Tom in the side. And then all of a sudden, the entire room lights up in these little tiny blue lights like fireflies coating the entire place. But as they coat the entire place, most of them hang in the air, with the exception of a lot of them, which initially cling to a giant 12-foot figure that is right there where you can see her now. They coat her. Everything else kind of just stays hanging in the air, so it's not going to be clinging to you or Giovanni or any of the furniture. It seems to attract itself to invisible creatures. And so you can, although you can't see the features of this creature, you can see her now. She is covered in little blue lights.
Nice.
Laven.
All right, that's my turn. Yeah.
Could I make it to block this window and attack like that?
In hand-to-hand? You want to attack in hand-to-hand?
Yeah.
Sure. The only obstacle to doing so would be you'd actually have to jump onto the bed. Because the bed is really close to the outside window, there's only about a 1-foot gap between the bed and the wall.
Mm-hmm.
So you'd have to actually, funnily enough, stand on the bed to strike at her. So you do have like an athletic skill or something like that,
I have
right?
athletics, and I have a pretty high physical prowess.
Yeah, yes. Okay, yeah, we'll be using your physical prowess. What is your physical prowess skill?
19.
Oh yeah, that is extraordinary. So roll me a D100. As long as you get underneath an 80, you're able to just catapult onto the bed and strike from there without any sort of penalty. Yeah, all right.
Oof.
So you leap onto the bed and you stride over the poor writhing Giovanni, who thankfully is now freed from her hand completely, and is catching his breath, for lack of a better word. But you get onto the bed, you unsheath. What weapon do you have in your hand?
Vibroblade.
You unsheath. Oh yes, you unsheath the
bionic
blade
arm.
from your bionic arm. Yes, and you're good to strike. What do you want to strike? And
well, she doesn't have anything in like her hands or anything, right? Like she's
no,
basically
her
just-
her claws are empty. Yeah.
and it's all mine. So I'm just gonna go for the torso. Nothing fancy. Just make
Okay.
sure I hit.
All right. All right. She is going to try and parry your attack by swiping away at it with. Actually, no. I'm gonna have her telekinetically parry that. It's gonna use more. Oh wait. Yeah, she'd use the ISP. Ooh, she has +4. Okay. Hey, so you move to strike her, but something deflects your blade, and it's really perplexing because her hands didn't move, but it's like it was shoved to one side, and you just miss her.
Okay.
You're parried.
As long as
Firebrand.
I'm blocking that window.
Yeah. She's having a problem getting out. So Giovanni rolls, because he sees you're fighting her there, and he's still in intense pain, just complete and utter agony. But he manages to roll himself off of the bed and onto the floor, so he's at least out of the way. You can see by his face, you don't see any physical wound on him, but something is just torturing his mind. Ellie, Cynthia. I'm gonna put your name as Cynthia in the.
Whatever works. So let's just. How far away is that? Really 90 feet?
No, that is the world's largest cabin.
Yeah,
It's
it's
probably
gonna be
about,
like.
it's probably half that actually, about 30 feet away.
Okay, she's gonna like immediately when she kind of regains herself from being thrown to a wall, she's gonna lift up her hammer again and just charge.
Oh my god! All right, we are gonna make this 2 attacks because we're gonna use one action for you to collect yourself after being thrown against the wall.
Mhm.
But yeah, we'll let you do a good old charge attack. You don't get any special bonuses. But what do you want to strike?
I guess she's just gonna be going for whatever she can see right in front of her, so just the main body.
Well, it's a glowing main body. So okay, go ahead.
Okay, let's see.
Oh wait, the nightmare did dodge, by the way, so she's gotta do an X for that. But the parries didn't cost anything.
Again, is my strike 12? Okay. Not D4, D20. I got this. 23.
Okay, well she is gonna try and parry telekinetically. She gets a +4, so it's possible. Oh, but too bad.
It's
All right, go
technically
ahead and roll
not because
damage.
it's supposed to be a +14. Oops.
Oh, it's.
Oh, she could have gotten a 20.
Oh,
Yeah.
well,
Either way, roll damage.
okay.
Your super stupid weapon. I'm kidding. It's a
It's
great
still
weapon.
Is it has
It
a
still
plus
does
10 now?
quadruple damage. Yeah,
Yeah.
it has a +10 because of the blessing.
It's
the
Oh,
angel.
that's
double.
okay. So
Sorry, Spirit of Light.
So
Save it.
2d4 plus 10.
4 plus 10. Okay. Thank you.
So that's 26.
26, and then once again. Oh wait, yeah, not.
No, that's
26.
just doubled.
Because that was the critical. Yeah.
No.
26. Ooh, okay. Let me keep. Uh-oh. She's not doing so great. You slam into. Once again, you slam the hammer into the main torso, and you can hear a sickening crunch underneath that skin. And Laven and Ellie and Tom, you're within viewpoint. Is you can start to see this black blood fall on the floor and hiss and burn away as if it's almost acidic-like. So that is Cynthia. Tom.
I would like to move up and attack again.
Okay. Once again, because of these short confines, close confines, just make it harder by 2. And so you're still with your horror factor, so
minus
minus
3.
3 in general.
Okay, so +7, 11 as a main body.
Gonna try and parry.
Yep, she does it.
Once again, similar to Laven, even though she doesn't raise up her hands to strike, that you can see at least through the glowy aftermath, your blade is cast aside.
Okay. I am going to make another attack with my offhand weapon, giving up my parry.
Okay.
Okay, so that will be a +5 instead because I don't have the. This is not a blessed weapon. So 16.
Did you factor in your -3?
Yes.
It is also parried.
Okay.
Oh no, she's also dual wield.
Yeah.
Oh wait. That's right. Only a dual wield person can parry a second attack.
Yeah.
You're right. My bad. I shouldn't have parried that.
I think
go
she
ahead
can
and roll
still
damage.
dodge, can't she? Or no?
No.
Could she
No.
parry with her mind and with her arm?
She...
I think you
I
need
don't
to have
wanna
the
get
skill to do it, though. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, because really what he's doing, he's attacking two blades at the exact same time.
Yeah.
She can only block one or the other. Unless, once again, I guess it's possible with the arm and the brain, but let's not overcomplicate it. Let's reward Tom for taking the dual attack skill. So go ahead and roll damage.
Boop.
She didn't parry it.
11.
Okay, you cut a swath along her main body, and you can now see black blood gushing and intermixing with these little blue lights. And you hear another horrible scream. She now resembles a wounded animal trapped in a corner because she is now literally a wounded animal trapped in a corner. And give me 2 seconds. I just have to think in character what the hell she would do. Because she's in a bad situation. And I wanted... She wants to live, obviously. She can't throw all of you with her brain. She doesn't have the ISP anymore.
Well, whose fault is that?
Patrick.
Oh, wait. Is this only one person? Oh, darn it. Just one person? Shit. Mind bolt, mind light. Oh, pfft. Oh, stupid bitch. What are you going to do? Yeah.
Is anyone else amused by Inferno just like thinking out loud for this villain?
I love how it's going back and forth between almost like him rooting for her and then happy she can't do anything.
Well, of course, right? She's a horrible monster that kills innocent people, but she's my horrible monster that kills innocent. Okay. Between a rock and a hard place, she's going to go for the thing that can't fight back. And she's probably going to use... How much force is this going to take? Oh, I shouldn't tell you this. Okay. I'm not going to tell you how much this uses. She swipes with a claw around in a circle towards all of you, but this is not a clear attempt to strike at you. It misses. It's more of a wild flailing as she turns her back quickly towards you, and suddenly you can hear this horrible creaking and crunching as logs begin to splinter from this direction, this corner. As with a horrible wrenching push, a shower of splinters come out as a massive 10-foot hole breaks into the side of the building. As she begins to try to make her way through the entrance she psychically created. However, due to her horribly injured leg, is only be able to limp out a few feet and just begins to hover a couple inches into the air like she's about to take off, but that's all the time she has for her action. Patrick.
Okay.
Yeah, because it takes her about 3-4 seconds to do this. So yeah, I think that's all that she can do in those few seconds. Break the wall, limp out, and try to take wing.
Okay. My goodness. I think I can do anything at this point, because if I even just magic net her, I think she could still fly with the magic net.
Yeah.
Shit. I guess Patrick is going to take his action to try to get out of this house and
Okay.
get into a better position.
All right. You can either try to crawl through the open window or go behind you and exit through the door and make your way around.
The
The
how big
window.
is this window, by the way?
Yeah, I know that's not really to scale. It is a simple 2-foot long and 2-foot tall window, so you could probably crawl through.
Oh, Patrick's going to take the door. Mm.
Okay. All right. So you take the door and you begin to run around. I'm gonna say in a few seconds you probably get to the corner here. Sound fair?
Absolutely. If
Distance-wise?
there's anything I can
Good.
do with my hands, I would like to load a fire round into my shotgun.
Okay, yeah, you can do that while on the foot. Although I'm gonna move you back a few feet since you can't be at a sprint and load your ammunition. It'll be just a quick
Absolutely
pace,
fair.
quick job. Oh, okay, groovy. All right, that's your action. Al.
So is there enough space here to get between them if I were to like vault over the bed?
Sure, especially now that Giovanni isn't in the way. It's a little tight, but yeah, there's enough room for an Al.
All right, so I have sharp in my hand. Well, I should probably actually say sharp, and then activate my blacklight blade, and then I'm going to attempt to do just that.
Okay. I'd like you to roll a sense of balance, or if maybe you have some sort of acrobatic skill or something like that. Just to
I
demonstrate
have
you like dodging and rolling and ducking and moving towards
sure.
it.
So I have sense of balance. I have work parallel bars and rings. I have backflip. Any of
that
those
one.
Which one? Backflip.
Sure. No,
Got
just,
it.
No, I'm
No.
joking. I'm joking.
Oh, okay. Whichever one you think
roll
fits.
me- It's sense of balance, definitely sense
Okay.
of balance. You're vaulting on the bed, you're getting on the ground, you're trying to strike her. Yeah.
I fail miserably.
You do?
Yep.
By 11. He fails
By 11. Yeah, so that's not miserably, but you do fail. So what I am going to say is that you trip yourself up on the bed a little bit. You are able to regain your composure, but unfortunately, all you have time to is kind of get to the other edge of the bed and safely disembark, and you're not quite within hand-to-hand combat of her just yet.
Okay.
Okay, but of course you do have 3 more actions after this, so you might be okay. Laven! Laven's in a much better position here.
Yeah. Well, she's not high enough where I can still reach her, right?
Oh yeah, she's only a couple inches off the ground. Like I said, she's just beginning to take off.
Okay.
So
I just wanna...
and she's like 12 feet tall, so you got plenty of room. You got plenty of stabbing room.
Okay, I want to insert my blade into her back side.
Okay,
and
excellent.
Have it stay in there so that she has to like carry me away to fly away.
Oh, nice.
In theory.
Sweet. Good. I rolled a strike. And here's the thing. She can't parry attacks that she can't see. And attacks that are back are attacks that she can't see. So that's just a hit. Roll damage, Laven.
That would be 2d6 plus 10, 42.
42.
Oh, because you blessed it?
Yeah.
Oh, shit. I was like,
Yep.
well, as long as he gets over his
Otherwise,
six-
I would have just shot it, but when she started doing mega damage, it's like, oh, okay.
Okay.
Less weapon,
Laven.
good.
Laven, you vault yourself, you jump you jump towards you, and your holy blade out of your arm slides itself into her back, and you can feel it carving through it like a hot knife through butter, and it sticks in there, and this horrible wretched creature gives this awful squawk and gargle. She floats on for a few more feet, but is not able to take much air as you continue to hang on to her back. Every time she tries to move and struggle, it's just wedging your vibroblade, your holy vibroblade, into her even further. As she struggles and struggles, and soon the invisibility encasing her breaks free as she's no longer invisible, as she floats for a few more seconds and then falls to the ground and limps with you still on her back before crumpling to her knees, thrashing around with her claws in the air feebly before her forehead hits the ground and she stays motionless, dead.
Sweet.
Cool.
Oh, cool.
Almost as soon as she breathes her last breath, Giovanni's cries of agony subside, and he's able to collect himself up from the ground. As he gives a shudder, you can still see him completely coated in sweat, and there are a few scratches on his cheek and his forehead from the claws that were resting on his head as she was torturing this poor guy. As he collects himself, he looks over to the dead body and he says, she's dead for good.
Laven stabs her again.
Doesn't move.
I would
think
like
so.
to decapitate her with the black light blade.
Hold up, Tom, he says.
Hmm?
There's already a lot of damage here, but nothing that we can't blame on the Twister. Let's get rid of the body at least into the woods, and then we can dispose of it properly. People are going to come out of their cellars pretty soon, I think, and I'd rather them not see this monstrosity.
All right.
Okay. So how do you guys want to drag this corpse off out of the village?
I can just
will-
grab its ankle and fly away.
I will
Okay.
activate superhuman strength.
Right
and
to the
try
back of
and
the
pick it up.
Do
ATV.
that.
Trophy.
Rolls up the ATV again.
I just want to pause for a moment, and I'm not a guy who normally enjoys puns, but someone in the chat just say that Nightmare was having a bad time.
Wow, that's awful.
That's great.
Yeah.
That's so good. That's so fresh.
I
So
think I'm a
fresh.
better person for having heard that.
Yeah, knowing that.
For,
Yeah.
for Laving heard that?
Yeah.
Uh,
Yep.
All right. Anyway, all right.
It feels good.
So thanks to Tom's supernatural abilities and with some assistance from the jet-packed Laven, we're gonna say what? You want to just move around the other side of the river, and then
yeah.
okay. So
Yeah,
you
that
move
seems
over
fine.
to the other side of the river. Now there was talk of decapitation.
Yes.
Okay. Tom does the grisly deed of decapitating her foul head from her equally foul body. Horrible black ichor spills from the stump that was her neck. Now what?
I want to take her biggest tooth.
Okay, all right. She has a big gnarled front tooth, which you wrench out and keep as a keepsake.
For now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to bury the blacklight blade in her skull, right
Okay.
between her eyes, to make sure that she doesn't regenerate, and I'm going to wait for Giovanni to meet up with us.
Oh yeah, he meets up with you, along with the rest of the party a few moments later. He's now seemed to collect himself and a little bit more sturdied and steely-eyed.
Okay. So I reckon we should burn the head and body in separate pyres.
Okay, he says, what do you want, the head or the body?
I'll take the head.
Okay. And Giovanni looks around towards the village to make sure no one else is watching. And sure enough, with just a thought of the man, her body begins to become surrounded in fire. But the fire just encases her body itself, doesn't spill anywhere else into the environment. As it begins to crackle and burn away, those of you who may or may not have taken off your helmets or who can smell things would smell a putrid smell. It's like burning plastic or burning rubber tire. It's awful and toxic, and it fills the air. Tom, do you do similar to her head?
Yes.
And soon, after a few moments of white-hot mega damage heat from both Firebrand and his former protege, Spark, the Nightmare, get your evil women right, Inferno. The Nightmare is reduced to a pile of black and gray ashes.
Hey, Giovanni,
Fantastic.
how are your ears?
He says, wait, what do you mean?
Check your ears.
He says, as he does check his ears, and for those of you who want to assist, it doesn't seem like there's anything inside of it. He says, she soon realized I wasn't Johnson, so I think she was more intended on harming me than trying to infect me.
Fair enough.
With that, my friends, we're not done with Giovanni and the Firebrand or anything just yet, but we'll have maybe more of a role play or debrief session next session if possible, because it's getting a little bit late. I think this is a good time to wind it down with your success over the Nightmare. Good job.
Sure.
Yeah, groovy. All right. Well, thanks for watching, everybody. Any questions? We good?
I think we're good.
I think we're good.
Awesome.
So we will see you guys next Sunday for Rifts and next Wednesday for Three Galaxies.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.
Thanks for watching, guys.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.